this remarkable finish and win against Miami. A game and a play that will be in highlight film forever. And Doug Flutie of Natick, Mass. was the Collegiate Football Star of the Year, winner of the most decisive Heisman Trophy vote ever. Next step, the decision to go pro. February 4 this year, Flutie chose the rich offer of New Jersey Generals owner Donald Trump. Big numbers for a big little quarterback.
I don't intend on being the starter opening day. I'll work as hard as I can to get to that point, but I don't anticipate that happening right away.
Flutie planned to have the luxury of learning behind NFL veteran quarterback Brian Sipe, but February 6th, Generals President Jason Seltzer announced
the Generals today traded quarterback Brian Sipe to the Jacksonville Bulls.
And so Doug Flutie, in a matter of 2 days, was the man for the Generals, and the hype was on. Flutie went to work. His teammates rallied to him. His coaches led him gently. And in the one training game against Orlando, after a rocky start, played well enough. He has always been a scrambler, and he will be in the USFL. ABC Sports presents the third season of the United States Football League. From Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama, the New Jersey Generals and the Birmingham Stallions. It seems every time we come back to visit Birmingham, there's been a change in the skyline. It's a growing city in the Deep South. Doug Flutie is mentioned here last September for a big win in his collegiate football career, and today, as the quarterback of the New Jersey Generals, going against the Birmingham Stallions, will make his professional debut on Legion Field in the city of Birmingham. The United States Football League is an exclusive presentation of ABC Sports. Today's game is brought to you by Dodge, makers of Ram-Tough Dodge trucks. At Dodge, we don't just talk tough, we prove it. By Budweiser, the king of beers. Reach for that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. By Canon, quality cameras and photographic equipment so advanced, Canon is the world's leader in 35mm photography. And by Dristan, long-lasting nasal spray. It goes to work in seconds with relief that lasts all day. Hello again, everybody. I'm Keith Jackson, and so we begin the third season of the United States Football League. It could be the last time in the springtime since the USFL is on public record that it plans to move to the fall season in 1986. That first year we started out with 12 teams. There was expansion to 18. Now it's been trimmed a little bit, dropping 4 franchises, and we go this year with 14 teams, the East-West Conference, with this composition. These two conferences will evolve eventually into a playoff structure culminating with a championship game. Players from the 4 drop franchises having been allocated throughout the league, and some quality football players changed the dress, but in some may have strengthened the overall league. Turn now to Lynn Swan, our analyst for our USFL series, the gifted wide receiver of the Pittsburgh Steelers, who has, 4 NFL championship rings in the family state. What do you think, Swanee? Quality up this year?
I think so. Last year, you and I both said that we thought they were expanding too much too soon. I think dropping back to 14 teams will help improve that competition. Now, Birmingham has improved quickly by adding 2 players to their defensive team. David Dumars, an all-pro defensive back from the Denver Gold, and up front, Ken Kelly from the defunct Chicago Blitz. Now, on the other side, the Birmingham Stallions have a great football team. They start out with Joe Cribbs at halfback, and he is outstanding. 1467 in rushing last year, but he's a threat to come out of the backfield anytime. Chris Stout, also an excellent runner, in addition to his passing. He was a 57% passer last year. He will be dangerous when he's pressured. And, of course, the second part of that Pittsburgh connection is his wide receiver, Jim Smith, who accounted for 1,481 yards and 89 receptions for them last year.
Isn't it interesting, Len, that here in 1985, we've gone through about 5 minutes now of programming. We haven't mentioned Herschel Walker, who was the story a year ago.
I think Herschel likes that, too. For so many years at Georgia, and then here for the Generals, he was the man under the gun, having to carry the weight. Now it's shifted. He's a little bit in the shadow. I think he'll play better football because of it.
Quick comment from you relative to how you think of the Flutie circumstance.
Well, I think it's unfair. But like you said some time ago, if you accept the money, you accept the challenge. I don't think this young man anticipated, he said as much, that he would be a starter at the first game. But when Walt Michaels traded Brian Sipes to Jacksonville, it changed the whole game. And I don't think Walt Michaels wanted to. I think the orders came from Donald Trump.
Tim Brandt is with us again this year doing the heavy work on the field. If you want to know how Doug Flutie personally feels at this moment, let's join Tim Brandt.
Keith, it seems as if his life has been a headline, and I guess everybody, Doug, in America right now is just wondering your thoughts.
I'm just anxious to get started and see how I do. You know, I'm not in a role right now where I'm going to try to take over the game and be the superstar. I have to play my role on this team and do what I need to take. We got Herschel and Maurice in the backfield, and we're a running team.
Let me ask you this. You made the comment after last week's game that it was a typical rookie start and you got to a shaky start. Came on strong. How do you alleviate that start today?
I'm just trying to settle it down, play it low-key, and realize don't be so impatient. You know, dump the ball off. We don't need to put the ball up downfield a lot. But just, you know, come up with the plays when we need them on third down. That's my role.
Have fun. Good luck.
Alrighty.
All right. Keith, I think everybody realizes he's a very bright young man, and he knows his assets are behind him with Carson and Herschel Walker. He's going to start off very basic, I think, but the burden's been slapped right on his back like a knapsack, and he knows he's got to carry the load.
Light rain. It has been falling occasionally, but nothing very heavy, and quite a light sky now on the horizon. There's no question but what, with local television and the rain, the crowd may be diminished some. But the magic of Doug Flutie, he's the most publicized person of them all, but here is a prototype, a professional quarterback now, Cliff Stout, who stands in around 6'3", 6'4". He weighs 220-odd pounds. He's been around. He knows what to do with a team. And I use that particular phrasing, Lynn Swan, because I think it has some meaning. He really knows this year where the strengths of his Birmingham offense are located.
It certainly does. And after having played with Joe Cribbs for 1 year, he knows how to utilize his talent. The offensive line is solid. And Cliff Stout is much more relaxed this year than I think he was last year. Just want to give you one thing to think about. If you go back to the Super Bowl that we did this year, you remember all the attention that Dan Marino got. Nobody talked about Joe Montana as being the guy who would bring the game, turn the game around. Now, it's going to work in Cliff Stout's favor with all the attention going on that young man, Doug Flutie. He wants to show that he's as good, if not better, and his team is a better football team.
Richard Todd is among those in the crowd, and of course, Richard played in this part of the country at the University of Alabama. And I would imagine every quarterback, whether he's college or pro, is particularly interested in this ball game today. And at halftime, we'll have some comments from Joe Namath, because Joe was put into the pressure cooker to a large degree in the same way that Doug Flutie has been slapped in there. There's the meeting in the center of the field. The referee for today's ball game is Tom White. The umpire is Marv Dernberger, the head linesman Jeff Bergman, line judge Richard Sands, Bill Lang the back judge, Joe Richwine the side judge, field judge is James Anderson, and the USFL, independent of our telecast, will be using the pictures for study and what is being called the instant replay, in possibly helping to change a decision that might have been flagrant. But I would say this to you. Insofar as the instant replay is concerned, it deals only and totally with status of the ball. Cal Lepore, who is the director of officiating in the USFL, hammers on this point that it is not an all-encompassing study of the ball game, but deals only with the status of the ball. That is, was it a fumble or was it not? Was it caught or not? That's the general area where the television replay will be used. New Jersey has won the toss. They will receive the football, and out of the first snap of the ball game, you'll see Doug Flutie on offense as he makes his professional debut. It has often been said how tight the cycle of change is getting these days, but as Swanee and I mentioned at the very beginning, a year ago the whole story was Herschel Walker, and right now he's almost in the background as Flutie takes center stage. Marcus Hackett, number 84, and Donnell Daniel, number 23, will return the kicks for New Jersey. Danny Miller, number 1, will be kicking for Birmingham. The Stallions, though they are the home team, wearing the white shirts.
Superstitious, I guess.
Has something to do with it, all right? So Danny Miller out of Miami pops it, and the game is on, and it's a sailing kick that is handled by Hackett at the 4. And the third season of the USFL is underway as Hackett spins his way back to the 26, where Thomas Boyd brings him down. The offensive alignment as Doug Flutie comes onto the field to open at quarterback. He's a little over 5'9", out of Boston College. Herschel Walker and Maurice Carthen behind him. Danny Knight, Clarence Collins, wide receivers, and Sam Bowers, the tight end. The offensive front, Rico, Stroke, Hull, Harris, and Maggs. Maggs having come over from Pittsburgh. In the allocation of players, they've got Trips at the top, and now Carthen comes into an I formation, and the ball goes to Herschel Walker. And Walker is hit after 1 yard. Herschel played against Birmingham on 2 occasions a year ago and had limited success. The hit on Walker was the left cornerback, Dennis Woodbury. Dave Purifoy, Jackie Klein, Doug Smith, and Don Reese. Yes, I said Don Reese, the men up front. Herb Spencer, Bill Rowe, and Ken Kelly are the linebackers. Woodbury, Clanton, Dumars, and Evans the secondary, and it is a tough head-hunting secondary. Second down and 9 for the New Jersey Generals. Ball is at the 27.
You're right.
Walker is your deep man. He's got the ball. And Herschel is nailed at the 29. Herschel Walker, in his 3 years at the University of Georgia, never played here at Legion Field because Georgia at that time was not playing against Alabama. Jackie Klein, number 98, and Ken Kelly, weak side linebacker, made the hit on Walker on that play. It is now 3rd and long, and you may be about to see Flutie's first pass.
First pass of the year. Keep in mind throughout the ball game that Walt Michaels, the coach of New Jersey, would prefer to run the ball most of the time.
Clarence Harmon is in as New Jersey goes to a shotgun formation. Remember, Flutie is a scrambler. He has good protection. He looks over the field, he gets it away, and overthrows Walker because looping around from the outside was number 76, Don Reese, and he leveled Flutie just as he threw the ball.
Doug Flutie dropping back in that pocket. We'll get to one level in this game very quickly to understand the pressure that comes from a very fast defensive line that's very aggressive. You see Reese coming in from the outside. He went straight up the field anticipating Flutie might try and roll out so he could box him in. Then came in from the backside.
And so Rick Partridge is in to punt for New Jersey. And Thad McFadden drops back, a rookie out of Wisconsin for Birmingham. Rick Partridge has been around the Generals, the 8th professional team he has been with in 5 years. Gets it out of there, and it's a good kick. It runs McFadden back inside his 25 to the 23. Got one man to help him, and he has a good return out of it. If he'd had one more block, he'd have been to the sidelines and see you later, and a New Jersey man is shaken up on the play. It was a 48-yard punt. It's Harmon, Clarence Harmon, running back, who was shaken up. He is on the special teams, and he was one of the men cut down in the blocking. So Doug Flutie now goes to the sidelines, where he will talk, but I suspect mostly listen.
I think so. Just pick up a few pointers, find out just what's going on in the ball game from the coach's perspective.
Chris Palmer is the quarterback coach for the New Jersey Generals. Chris knows something about being 5'9" because he's not quite that high himself.
Sometimes you wonder if a man was built to work so hard. Your muscles get stiff, sore. You need the strong sore muscle medicine. Absorbine Junior penetrates fast. Absorbine Junior penetrates deep with soothing warmth. Absorbine Junior loosens stiff, sore muscles so you can get back to work. When you feel you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, get the strong sore muscle medicine, Absorbine Junior.
The enemy. Rain. A mere 1/8 inch can float your car off the road. Thus the rationale for Vector, Goodyear's unique all-season radial. So advanced, its crisscross tread actually pumps away water to help more tire and your car stay on the road. The Goodyear Vector. It simply performs like no other tire in the world.
And now it is Birmingham's turn to handle the football. They'll open with Cliff Stout at quarterback, Joe Cribbs and Earl Kent. The runners, Joey Jones, Jim Smith, and sometimes Darrell Mason, the tight end, as a wide receiver. McKinley, Adelat, Battaglia, Saindon, and Mason up front. Big, strong offensive front for Birmingham. A perfect game for Raleigh Dodge's ball club is to hold the ball for 45 minutes and shut you out. Stout, looking downfield, had nothing. And as Lynn Swan noted before the game today, we've talked so much about Flutie's scrambling and ability to run. Cliff Stout can haul it pretty well himself.
See there, 6.5.
He's a big, strong guy, too, and he's not afraid to take it and go on and punch it downfield. There's Raleigh Dodge, the man who runs the show on the field for the Birmingham Stallions. He was excited for this opener. He was just bouncing yesterday. It is second down and 5.5. And the ball goes to Joe Cribbs. 2 blockers in front of him. Finds a little daylight, but can't pop through the crease. And he's finally brought down by Frank Mathias. He had number 73, Phil McKinley, who was a mere 6'6", 275 out in front of him. Phil played at UCLA and then went off to the Falcons and came over to Birmingham on the allocation draft from the Memphis Showboats.
Well, that run by Cliff Stout, now by Joe Cribbs, sets up a coach's dream. If he has to have a third down situation, he wants it to be third and short. Probably should the fullback just take the ball. Nothing fancy.
Need about a half a yard to keep possession on third down with the ball setting on the Birmingham 49. Earl Gant out of Missouri, 220-pounder, wiggling over the right side and crosses midfield. And so Birmingham now with a first down at the New Jersey 48. Walt Michaels, the head coach of the New Jersey Generals.
That was Gant in there, number 23. You're going to see Leon Perry from time to time, number 30. Probably not as much as Perry would like to be in there this afternoon. He came into training camp this year just a little bit overweight, weighing 270 pounds, Keith. Right now he's down, I think, to a slim 245.
They're honing on him. First down for Stout. Gant with the ball fumbled. The football rolling loose. White shirt dove for it, and it looks like Birmingham may have retained possession.
Looked like a Birmingham player got over there very quickly to get on top of it, but no.
No, it's New Jersey's ball. He came down on it, but the ball squirted away from him, and in the stack, a man in a red shirt comes away with it. Kerry Justin, the left cornerback, number 26.
Keith, in the first game of the 1984 season between these two ball clubs, Birmingham Stallions turned the ball over 3 times to give the New Jersey Generals the advantage and a win in that ball game. This is what Raleigh does not want to do today.
You've got 10:55 to play in the first quarter. The Generals have a break.
The things I do in life, well, I still care about working hard and making it turn out right. And so I'm reaching out in everything I do. I'm going for the best, and my best is coming through. Here's to you, America, my best I give to you.
Anheuser-Busch, it's the same personal commitment to quality that has kept our family of beers the finest in the world for over 100 years.
Made in America, that means a lot to me. Oh, I believe in America and American quality. Here's to you, America, my best I give to you.
Terry Justin, the general who recovered the loose football to give New Jersey its first down at their own 48. James Lockett was the man that knocked it loose. Something different today. Bill Rowe, middle linebacker for the Birmingham Stallions, has a tiny little microphone in his helmet.
Buckle up, baby. Let's stop.
Hear it?
Okay.
We'll be listening throughout the ball game over that microphone because Bill Rowe, I'll guarantee you, as long as he's in the game, is going to be in the middle of everything.
Left.
Flutie back, gives to Walker. Herschel cuts it back into the middle, maybe a yard, and that's all. New Jersey with a lot of movement before they go to their final offensive set. And the Birmingham defense, Swanee, that time looked to me like they were almost caught.
Well, almost caught, but not quite. Doug Smith out of Auburn was in there. He's a rookie. Played it extremely well. It's an aggressive defense. They're going to move around the lot. They're going to rush upfield. They're not going to give you too many breaks.
Left. Watch 35 straight.
Contact.
He jumped.
Birmingham man on the left side moving. Jackie Klein touching the shoulder of Wayne Harris, and the question always is, did the offensive man move? And apparently he did.
Ball start, 64 on New Jersey.
So the Generals will back up 5.
Okay, hold up.
You know that man, Walt Michaels, had a tight stomach starting with a young man who really just came right off the campus.
Stomach got tight when he traded Brian Sight.
385.
Birmingham defense jumping around, trying to give Flutie every kind of a different look they can. Doug's pass whipped to the sideline, and it is incomplete. I thought it might have been deflected.
The man who came in, number 97, Doug Smith, jumped high into the air when he tried to throw the 82, Clarence Collins. Now, when you talk about the height of Doug Flutie, here is where it's a real disadvantage. Defensive linemen are taught when you rush the passer and he's about to throw, get your hands up in the air, get in his face. Now watch Doug Flutie and watch the height he gets right there. He probably didn't see the receiver, so the ball goes short.
And it's 3rd down and 15. They're out of the shotgun. Gives him more visibility, a little more room. Penalty flag, stop it. Shoots the bullet. He might have had his first completion. Let's see about the flag. Sam Bowers, the man that caught the ball. While they're discussing the penalty, an interesting thing, Brian Sipe throws a very soft pass. And when Flutie showed up and went to work.
All right, 68 on the offense, still 3rd down.
When Flutie showed up and went to work, he threw the ball with so much more velocity that the New Jersey people were having trouble holding on to it, and a couple of them got wrapped upside the head by a hard ball. So the receivers had to make some considerable adjustments themselves.
You do when someone throws the ball that hard. But he's a new man coming into camp. They would have had to make adjustments whether he threw the same velocity pass or not, because it's just a slightly different touch on it.
So now it is 3rd down and 20 after the 2 motion penalties, and Flutie goes back under center. On a straight drop. Little shovel pass up the middle, tried to get the ball to Herschel Walker. He couldn't do it, and there were 2 big men in white shirts thundering down on him. Dave Purifoy and number 97, Doug Smith. Now, Purifoy is 255 and Smith is 300.
And they run as fast as most college linebackers, something Doug, again, will have to get used to. You see him flick it side on. That's the way he throws the ball most of the time, ducks his head, trying to protect himself a little bit from the rush of 97, Doug Smith.
You also saw a degree of sportsmanship there where they could have really popped Flutie, but both linemen let off, and they didn't do it. All right. Partridge
Get your way.
shoots one. It's low enough. McFadden will have some room for it from his 16. Thad McFadden, a rookie out of Wisconsin, brings the ball back across midfield, and the Birmingham Stallions will have it 1st down at the 48 of New Jersey. It was a 45-yard punt, but it was a low driving punt. And so McFadden, getting 3 big blocks downfield, brings it back 36 yards.
And watch this move inside, sets up a block. All right, person on the outside would have been a clip had he not made that little inside move to give him position. Then using his ability and blocking downfield, he makes a great play for great field position.
Some make greatness look simple, like the Great Gretzky and the Canon T70. To cover the grace of Gretzky, the simplicity of touch-button controls. To capture his pace, automatic film advance. To simply handle any shot you want, 3 program modes. The Canon T70. And it's so simple.
Shoots, scores.
The Canon T70. It makes the great shots simple.
Aftershave, deodorant. The great smell of Brute by Fabergé.
Tuesday, machines eat your change, traffic drive you crazy.
Who can you call?
We'll show you the funniest ways ever to get even, so take a seat and you'll be getting the last laugh.
That statistics from the 1984 season tells you really only the philosophy of Raleigh Dutch, that he is a coach that likes to possess the ball and keep the other team's offensive unit on the bench. He intends, he said, to open things up a bit this year. But right now, he's concerned with the fact that his team fumbled it away the last time they had it, the first time they had it today. Now, Stout back, going deep. Joey Jones. Out of bounds. Caught the ball. Kerry Justin was there. And little Joey was running right with him. He has great leaping ability. Came down with it, 5'10", 165, but he's out of bounds.
Raleigh Dutch said he wanted to open up the game, play action passes on first down. Joey Jones, one of the top 3 players on this team, gets even with Justin, goes by him a bit. Great concentration here. Kerry Justin came out of the Seattle Seahawks organization for the Generals. See right there, he gets 1 foot down, but watch where the second foot lands. Just out of bounds. No good.
Fisher was right there, and it's second down and 10. 8:25 to go in the first quarter, and here comes Joe Cribbs, one leg. One of the Generals' defenders had penetrated the inside linebacker, John Joyce, out of Colgate. He got him by one leg and held on.
Gates, one of the problems with going on the pass play on first down is that if you're not successful, you have a 2nd and 10 situation, 2nd and long. A running play, unless it pops open big, usually isn't going to help you out a great deal. So you might see a little bit more passing on 2nd down. If they don't pass on 2nd down, you're going to have problems like this, 3rd and long.
3rd and 8. Ken Toller checks in as a wide receiver. Gives him 3 wides out of the shotgun. Cliff Stout drills Jones, and Joey is right along the marker. Looks like where they're going to give him the mark will be good for a first down, and he caught the ball right in front of Kerry Justin.
Joey Jones is not that big. He's only 5'10", 165 pounds, and when he was drafted, selected in the territorial draft from the University of Alabama, people questioned his ability to take a hit. They knew he had the speed to go deep, but he has been quite successful catching the passes over the middle, clutch 3rd down catches just like that last one.
I sort of watched him grow up during, it is the first down, during his career at Alabama, and I'm not so sure. I think I might want to take a tape measure to him. I'm not so sure he's 5'10".
Maybe 5'8".
That's right. But he's a tough wrestler.
Yes.
7:40 to go now, first quarter. No score in the football game.
I like those small, tough receivers. They remind me of a friend of mine.
From the 38 of New Jersey, Birmingham, first down. Stout gives the ball to Gant. Gant bounces off one behind the line of scrimmage. Number 53 had made the penetration, Bobby Leopold. And Bobby forced him deep and forced him wide, and by that time help arrived, and there's a loss on the play.
The defensive team for the New Jersey Generals is one that likes to read. They make contact, get their heads up so they can read the play, see what's going on, then they react. Very tough to run sweeps against them because they're reacting and flowing to the outside.
Boss is back near the 45. So it's second down at about 17. Jones comes in, bringing a play, and Darrell Mason comes out. Mason, the tight end, played at Arkansas. That gives Birmingham now 3 swift wide receivers. Jim Smith, I remind you, has not seen the ball so far today, but he will. From the shotgun, Stout goes deep. Down the middle for Smith. Smith got tangled up a little bit with number 25, stumbled, lost his momentum, and now is protesting it. John Preston, the strong safety, going down the middle with Smith, and Jimmy stumbled a little bit and he lost his speed.
Jim caught 89 passes for 1,481 yards. In most man-to-man situations, he is going to be double-teamed. Look, he's got a man on the outside. He's got a linebacker underneath. The safety took off to his right, Jim's left. Cliff came back to him. You see there, the contact right there with Preston.
He didn't make contact with Preston, I don't think. I think he just stumbled.
And that was it. Well, from that angle, it kind of looked like he just got his legs caught up.
Yeah. Perry is in the ball game, the big man. Going to run off a few pounds now. It is 3rd down and 17 as Stout works out of the shotgun. They get him behind the line of scrimmage. He's in the grass back around the 45. So the New Jersey defensive unit stands up as James Lockett penetrates and makes the tackle, and the Stallions will have to punt. And as the punting team comes on, one of the old-timers in this game of pro football comes out. Name is Bob Parsons, 12 years of it. High hanging kick, not the longest punter in the league, but he can hang it up, and he keeps knocking it out of bounds inside the 20, but this is Donnell Daniel trying to cut to the sidelines, and he almost found an alley over there. It was a 42-yard punt, 6:50 to go first quarter, and no score.
All truck companies talk tough, but only one puts its money where its mouth is. Dodge. Because only Dodge gives you a 5-year, 50,000-mile warranty on engine, powertrain, and outer body rust-through. It covers new 85 full-size pickups, wagons, vans, and Ram Chargers, making Dodge the best back trucks in America. That's guaranteed.
Hey, they forgot the label.
No, that's a special tube of Aquafresh.
I can see it's triple protection formula.
Only Aquafresh has it.
Fights cavities with all the fluoride of the leading paste. Freshens breath with all the freshener, the leading gel. Cleans stain film with gentle, effective cleaners. Concentrated in one complete toothpaste.
And tests prove millions of mothers prefer Aquafresh.
Triple protection Aquafresh. A complete toothpaste.
Saturday, if hard-throwing Pete Weber can win this event, he will be only one victory away from a $1 million jackpot. Catch all the excitement on the Professional Bowlers Tour Saturday on EDZ Sports.
The balanced offense reflected by Walt Michaels' Generals a year ago. He'd like to have it this year. Doug Flutie, as he comes out now to start this offensive series for New Jersey, 0 for 3. The ball is at the 26, first down for the Generals and no score. Birmingham showing a 5-man front, linebackers dancing in and out.
485!
Walker bounces off the tackle side and gets up to the 29. And it was Doug Smith, who's met Herschel before when he was at Auburn, who brings him down.
I see on this run, he wants to go straight ahead, sees the hole is closed, and he just starts dancing, looking for an opening. A little misdirection there. Now, it's a good, strong move right here as he goes by Dave Purefoy. He keeps his legs going. He's hit there and finally wrestled down. Again, Herschel Walker has two pair of the strongest legs I've seen in football.
Carthen, the fullback, Walker, the I-back. Second down, 7. Flutie will throw on second down. His pass is away down the middle, and it is incomplete. Intended for Jeff Speck, number 81, the tight end. And Speck had double coverage.
He had a man underneath. The cornerback was underneath, and looked like the safety who came over the top. Doug Flutie was under a great deal of pressure and was lucky to get that ball away.
The guy playing center field for Birmingham is Chuck Clanton. Played college ball at Auburn. He is quick, and he is tough.
1984, he had 10 interceptions, second in the league, second only to Marcus Quinn of the Oakland Invaders.
Now the Generals go wide, and Flutie drops into the shotgun on third down and 7. His protector is Carthen. Walker, working out of a slot back position, goes down the middle. Flutie throws just short. He had Herschel, but he threw the ball low and in front of him, and David Evans was there defending. And let's check in now with Tim Brandt.
All right, Keith, I'm with Birmingham wide receiver Jim Smith, and as they get ready to go back offensively, I've got to ask you, defensively, it looks like New Jersey's giving you plenty of cushion, and they're playing basic zone.
Well, they give me plenty of room. Hopefully we can get to me.
On that last play, the long pass, it looked like you were tangled up, like you were interfered with, were you?
Well, I felt as though I got tripped, but those guys in striped shirts don't always believe or listen to what I say.
All right, Jim, thank you. Back up to you, Keith.
Keith, in the Super Bowl, an official gave me that call once against the Dallas Cowboys. Said I was tripped going back for a ball.
When you had such big deductions at Christmas? Partridge back to punt. Low snap. Rick handles it well and gets it dandy deep downfield to the 27-yard line. A 44-yard hanging punt at 5:51 to play in the first quarter, and we have no score.
It was incredible out there today. I had to work for every point. My muscles feel sore, but they won't for long because I've got Bengay. You can feel it working right away. You know, I also use Bengay before I play. It helps me warm up and play more comfortably, longer. And that can make the difference. Like today.
Bengay before and Bengay after. Feel better with Bengay.
You can feel it working right away.
It was Sarah's birthday, but she didn't think her daddy would make it. His work never seemed to let up, and his office wasn't exactly built for speed. But lately, he's been doing something about it. He brought in Team Xerox. With Xerox memory writers, personal computers, and printers that helped his people work together more productively and his work get out faster. Team Xerox not only got his office up to snuff, but gave him one very important side benefit.
Happy birthday, sweetheart.
No score first quarter at Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama. 5:51 to go. Coming up on ABC's Wide World of Sports Saturday, Aaron Pryor and Gary Hinton will get together. Aaron, of course, one of the top fighters in the world with 32 knockouts and 35 fights. This was scheduled previously, was postponed for a time. But Pryor goes in against a tough guy from Philly, Gary Hinton, on ABC's Wide World of Sports next week. I'll tell you more about the Florida Derby in a little while, which will also be part of the program. But right now, we look at the Birmingham Stallions going to work. First down from their own 27. They've gone deep twice. Stout drops back on first down. Goes short this time and hits Smith for a first down up at the 39-yard line.
That's taking advantage of that cushion that Tim Brandt alluded to that Jim Smith was getting. Ken Johnson, the right cornerback, backing up. Jim just takes off from the line of scrimmage, runs straight down the field until the cornerback backs up, turns around at the 10-yard mark, and Cliff Stout just fires a bullet in there. Tough to defend.
Well, if your timing is on, it's almost impossible. First down. Ball at the 39. Perry in the backfield. And the big man has it. And gang tackle led by John Joyce just over the 40 at the 41. We have a preliminary report. It has not been double-checked, but we want to tell you anyway because it's dreadful news, really. Brian Sipe, we are told, is out of the game early in the first quarter for the Jacksonville Bulls with a possible broken collarbone.
Obviously not the same kind of protection in Jacksonville that he was used to in New Jersey.
That's too bad. Earl Gant checks back into the Birmingham backfield, and Jones goes in motion on second down and about 7, and hand it to Gant. And penalty flag flutters into the air, and the rain is gone for the moment. It's quite pleasant. Sky getting brighter. They have had a lot of rain through some of the areas of East Texas and across Mississippi. Heavy rain in Mississippi. The penalty call is going to go against New Jersey, it appears.
On this particular field.
Offside, left tackle, defense.
Which
That's
is
James Lockett.
Which is artificial grass. There's a crown in the middle, and I've seen it rain here before, and it drains quite well and very fast. So the little rain we did have early on shouldn't cause any problems for the players slipping and sliding.
New Jersey now 3 flags for a total of 15 yards here in the first quarter. And it's second down and short 3 now for Birmingham as the ball comes out to the 46. Goes to Cribbs, and Joe has a first down at midfield. The quick slashing running of Joe Cribbs. Jacksonville has taken the lead over the Baltimore Stars 3-0. And a note in the case of Baltimore, there were, I believe, out of the top 22 players, something like 15 of them have had troublesome injuries at one time or another during the training camp. And Arizona getting out to a 3-0 lead over the Portland Breakers. Frank Kush, of course, coming home to Tempe as the head man of the Arizona Wranglers. It is first down. The ball virtually at midfield, and Cliff Stout drops, gets it off to the sidelines. Joey Jones out of bounds. First down, New Jersey, 36 in front of Kerry Justin.
That entire play was made because of Cliff Stout's ability to scramble. If Cliff had stood straight back in the pocket, he would have been a long pass from the middle of the field to the sideline. But he rolled out. He was evened up. You can't even see a defensive back in this picture. Justin is so far off of Joey Jones. Joey Jones ran by him that last time. He said, Mr. Jones, I will give you respect. And respect for a corner to receiver means distance.
Jones is out and Toller is in now. Ken is out of Ole Miss. 6'2", 190, number 85. And he comes in motion. Ball is handed to Joe Cribbs. And Joe, no room on the left side as Jim Byrne, a 280-pounder out of Wisconsin La Crosse, stands up and knocks him down. And Joe's got to come out now because he has broken the straps holding the shoulder pads. There's big Jim Byrne. Walt Michaels and his coaching staff feel that this may be their top defensive lineman. And if not, going to be.
Last year he had 7 sacks individually.
Ball at the New Jersey 33, second down and 7. No score, first quarter. Stout back, looks at Jones, goes high and incomplete. Had the ball sail on him, but New Jersey's coverage was a little better that time.
What you saw in the backfield was number 25, John Preston, who blitzed from a strong safety position. Now, the New Jersey Generals are not a blitzing defensive team. They'd rather play the zones, bend a little bit, then come back and tighten up when you get close. That time, they chose to blitz to put additional pressure on the Stallion.
So it is third and 7. Out of the shotgun. Stout works his way outside. He'll get a first down and then some.
He'll get a touchdown.
Nope, not quite. Oh! Out of bounds. He hit the chalk at the 5.
Now we're going to have to teach Cliff Stout how to walk a tightrope. Got a good block, good position block from Joey Jones on the outside. He had Jim Smith open down the middle, but he ran because he was under pressure. He's looking, waiting for Smitty, sees the pressure, takes off to run. Now this is 28 yards on the ground for Cliff Stout. Right here you'll see him just gets out of bounds at about the 5-yard line.
That could have been a flag. But there was none.
Kind of hard for him to hear that whistle when he's charging across field.
Yes, it is. First and goal, Birmingham, New Jersey 5. Gant and Cribbs, the setback. Gant to the 3 at least. You saw number 89 go in motion. That's Robin Earl, who played at Washington. Big tight end. 6'5", 240. He started in motion toward the ball and then turned inside to add bulk to the blocking side of the line. He was a fullback at Washington. For a while, anyway. Perry comes in, the 250-pounder. Goal line defense now as some of the lighter people are taken out for New Jersey. It's second down and goal. Cribbs. Outside and decked at the 6. Joe trying to get outside. Good defensive flow that time, and a good read by Kerry Justin and a solid tackle.
Kerry Justin came up from his corner position, but number 52, Mike Weddington, the linebacker, came up and really boxed in the play. Took out all the blocking for Joe Cribbs. He tried to cut upfield. Couldn't do it. Justin made the stop.
The placement team warming up on the sidelines for Birmingham. Danny Miller, the kicker. It is third down and goal, and now the ball is back just outside the 5. Danny. He beat out Scott Norwood. Scott had an injury to his leg and just couldn't break through, and Miller won the job.
Man-to-man coverage.
They show blitz. Almost got caught offside. Stout looking around. Penalty flag now. Throws in the end zone. The pass is incomplete, intended for Darrell Mason in front of John Preston. Let's see about the penalty. Could have had encroachment.
Offside. Number 55 on the defense.
Jim LeClaire trying to anticipate the snap. Got caught in the neutral zone.
Jim LeClaire calling the defensive signals. Played 12 years for the Cincinnati Bengals. He's a tough competitor. A quiet man most of the time off the field, Keith, but when he's on the field, one of the more aggressive people. You see him right there trying to anticipate the snap. He comes up. Couldn't get back in time. Cliff Stout looking for Jim Smith on that play.
Tough call for New Jersey. It gives Birmingham another shot from inside the 5. Third down and goal from the 3. Cliff Stout rolls in zone. Touchdown. Darrell Mason.
Excellent play call by Raleigh Dodge. Cliff Stout has had tremendous success already in the first period. Rolling out, running the football. You get in tight, you got 3 yards. Let him have that option again. Then delay the tight end into the end zone. You see it all the time in professional football. It's a very safe play. High percentage of success.
Miller is in now for the extra point try. He was the 7th scorer in the USFL last year with 108 points. Bobby Lane putting it down, and Miller nails it through. With 38 seconds to go in the first quarter, the Birmingham Stallions have gone ahead by a score of 7-0.
We'll take another look at it. Again, a little play action. Cliff Stout rolling out. Excellent protection. Got 2 people out in front. They're engaged in block. And the tight end comes out. Darrell Mason, an easy catch. And there you see the reaction coming up of Cliff Stout, drawing first blood in the ball game.
Well, right now, I would say the Stallions are starting to play dodgeball. It's a long control drive. It's 10 plays, 73 yards. They use up 5 minutes and 21 seconds of time on the clock. So that'll make the man with the silver hair happy.
The only difference in the traditional Raleigh Dodge style of football is that he's throwing more on first down. And he said he would because he wanted to open up the defense of the New Jersey Generals. He saw some things he felt would work very well for them because, again, they're not an aggressive defensive unit when it comes to charging the passer on first and second down.
Ready for Miller's kickoff. Hackett and Daniel are deep for New Jersey. High, hang up there. Should be fairly good coverage for Hackett. Oh, he got a hold. And he is knocked out of bounds as he crosses the 40. Robin Earl knocked him out of bounds.
It's a high kick, but very short. He fielded that about the 10-yard line. And he was up to his blocking very quickly.
Doug Flutie comes out 0 for 5 in the ball game, and the New Jersey offense so far in the game, 5 Flutie passes and 4 Walker runs, totaling 8 yards. Carthen is yet to see the ball.
28 seconds left in the first period, Keith, and New Jersey is highly predictable. They're not doing anything that we couldn't anticipate.
Again, Birmingham shows a different defensive look to Flutie. Ball is handed off to Carthen. First carry of the day for Maurice. And he comes up to the 45. Here's Cliff Stout now with Tim Brent.
Keith, you know Cliff Stout led all quarterbacks in rushing his year in Pittsburgh, and then he led the quarterbacks over 400 yards last year. Tell me about the run to set up the touchdown.
Well, it wasn't a design run. None of my runs usually are. But we had a little halfback option route to Cribbs. I had to step up in the pocket and just saw a lane and got a couple great blocks from our receivers. Our receivers do a good job because they know I do like to take off running, so if they see me coming, they try to get some blocks. They did a great job.
All right, Cliff, good luck. They're staying very basic, he says, Keith.
Well, they lead by a score of 7-0 at the end of the first quarter of play. The game at Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama, the opening weekend of the United States Football League's 3rd season.
Strength, pride,
For centuries, the Clydesdales have been known as a special breed. Today, the Clydesdales symbolize Budweiser's dedication to quality, superior ingredients, exclusive beechwood aging, and a distinctively clean, crisp taste only Budweiser can offer. Quality taste, because this Bud's for you.
Ollie, if you don't hurry, I'll miss my play.
Well, I'm doing the best I can in this terrible rain.
Would a new set of Vanco wiper blades help?
Certainly. Put them on.
Change to Anco. They clean better than any other blade. Test proven.
There, now I can see an airplane. Airplane!
Don't worry, Ollie. It wasn't mine. That's mine.
Anco. The best blades you can buy. Test proven.
Feel it, feel it, feel it. That Maximo feeling. Feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it. Feel it oh so close.
It's here. Noxzema Shave Cream for extra sensitive skin. Feel that soothing blue lather protecting you from irritation. Feel the closeness. Feel the comfort.
Feel it oh so close.
Medicated Noxzema Shave Cream for extra sensitive skin.
Maximo feeling. Feel it oh so close.
I'm 32 years old, and I love Kellogg's Frosted Flakes.
Brave adults are coming forward to challenge the notion that Frosted Flakes is just a kid's cereal.
I know there's a tiger in the box. I like the taste, okay?
Because you love them as a kid doesn't mean you can't love them as an adult.
One day, our neighbors saw the package on the table.
And we don't even have children.
With that extra crunch and milk, that frosting just right, that taste is great as ever.
Well, they've always been my favorite. So dig in. Frosted Flakes have the taste adults have grown to love. They're great.
Well, here we go to the second quarter of play with Birmingham leading New Jersey 7-0.
Let's go, D.
The football is resting at the 45. Yeah. The helmet is in Bill Rose.
Okay.
The microphone in Bill Rose helmet.
Left.
You know why it's there?
Trip.
Why? Because he doesn't cuss. Second down and 5.
117.
Hope he calls the signals, too.
117.
Ball is given inside to Maurice Carthen, and Carthen breaks it big. He's on his way to touchdown. No flag.
Well, if there was ever a statement to back up signing this young man to a contract and keeping him on this ball club, he just made it, Keith.
He intends to play out his option unless they can reopen negotiations. And this is one of the reasons that he feels his value has improved. As we look at it from ground level, he's big, he's strong, he's quick.
And he hits that center of the line with blocking out in front of him. Doesn't try and do anything fancy, just runs straight ahead. Doug Flutie running behind, cheering him on.
Go, go, go. Chance to tie it now with Roger Ruzek. Off the tee, the kick is good. So 30 seconds into the second quarter of play, Carthen goes 55 yards, and the Generals are even.
Now, last year, Maurice Carthen ran the football for 1,042 yards, did the lion's share of all the blocking for Herschel Walker when he was in the ball game, and here you see his ability. Could be on his way to another 1,000-yard season. If we come back, Birmingham will have a chance.
Hey, to everyone who tackles the changes and challenges of that new promotion, this Bud's for you.
This Bud's for you. There's no one else who does it quite the way you do. Hey, so here's
Stop the line! Wait, I gotta go back. We can't get this thing over here. No problem, right?
Just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do,
Saturday on ABC's Wide World of Sports. One of the most exciting fighters in the world today, undefeated Aaron Pryor, defends his junior welterweight crown against Gary Hinton, live. Plus, 3-year-olds face their first major test in the Florida Derby, live on ABC's Wide World of Sport, Saturday.
Here is a name that is certainly familiar to people in the southern part of the country, Paul Otkaruth, who played at Alabama 4 years. Number 42 is now in the ball game for Birmingham and is one of the kick returners. 6'1", 210-pounder. Ruzek will kick it off. New Jersey 7 after that 55-yard run by Carthen and Birmingham 7. High kick. Goes to McFadden. Goal line. And no hold this time as McFadden is pinned in and brought down at the 19. I think I said a little while ago, Arizona Wranglers. That was last year. Southwalls now. A couple of Heisman Trophy winners. Herschel, the big story a year ago, and as Lynn Swan said a little while ago, delighted to have somebody else come along and take the heat off him. From the 19, Birmingham goes to work. Joe Cribbs, the deep man, out of the I alignment. Scout back on first down, setting up a screen to Cribbs. 3 men in front of him. And can't quite pop through there. Number 32, Ken Johnson, and 47, John Joyce. I think it was Johnson that got most of Cribbs on the play, but if Joe had gotten through that last crack, see you later.
He's got the quickness to do it. All-purpose running back. He's an excellent receiver, excellent running back. He came to Birmingham last year when the Buffalo Bills failed to meet his desires for a big money contract.
Leon Perry checks in now for Birmingham. Second down and 4. Obviously checked off. Pulls it down. Now shovels it ahead to Darrell Mason, and Mason is pretty close to his first down as they throw him. Just depends on the mark. If they mark him short of the 29, it won't be. If they mark him beyond it, it will be.
I can't help but laugh, Steve. That reminds me of Jim Plunkett so much. How many times have you seen Jim Plunkett start to run, just flip it off someplace, there happens to be someone handy, and it turns into a big play? Right here, he's just getting rid of the ball, shoots it out, and Mason happens to be right there to pick up the first down.
Well, they gave him a pretty good mark, I'll tell you. It's over the 30. And a first down. Stout has accounted for 80 of Birmingham's 92 total yards so far in the game. And here's Cribbs cutting it back. And brought down by James Lockett, number 96.
James did a good job that time from his defensive end position of keeping the blocker up in front of him. Cribbs saw it, looked like there was a hole on the inside, and Lockett just slipped off to the inside, made the tackle. Good veteran move.
Second down and 8. 7-7 ball game. Stout looks deep. Throws short. Again, out of the backfield. And Earl has a first down as he finds his way across the 45 to about the 47.
Excellent call on the screenplay. Jim Smith looked like he was beating somebody up on the outside, trying to hold the defensive cornerback off while Gant was coming up with the football.
Cliff did a good job that time of looking people off, too. He looked deep.
He sure did. Look how long it takes to set the screen up. It's getting some pressure. Looks like LeClaire, who was falling down about his ankle. Gant makes the catch and can't really decide which way to go. That's number 25, John Preston. When he slipped there, it seemed like he grabbed his leg like he might have pulled something, Keith.
Still out there. Another first down. Ball is at the 47. Stout back to throw it on first down again to the sidelines to Jones, and Jones has got another first down, it appears, as he crosses into New Jersey territory and steps out just inside the 43.
Now, when you talk about timing, Keith, this is the pass play that needs as much as any. Low out pattern, got to time it up. It's a long pass in the middle of the field. And that cornerback, if he anticipates it, if it's not thrown with some velocity, has the angle just to cut it off and run down that sideline for a touchdown.
But again, to go back to a point you and Tim Brandt were talking about a while ago, the New Jersey corners are giving some cushion.
That's right.
Particularly to Jones. With his speed.
Watch the leg drop.
Stout stays with the first down pass, goes to Mason, and Darrell retreats a step and then fights to get it back. He's inside the 40 near the 38. Mike Weddington, a left side outside linebacker from Oklahoma. We'll listen to Cliff Stout now. The umpire is wearing a little tiny microphone, and you know that the umpire works on the defensive side behind the linebackers, so we should be able to hear what Cliff Stout is talking about. It sounds to me like he's checked off a couple of 3 times. Check off that time. Pretty simple play as they give it to the big man, Leon Perry. And Perry on second down and 6 picks up a couple of yards.
Perry built like a locomotive. If he gets ahead of steam, he's like a locomotive to stop. Try and tackle him from the outside if you are a small cornerback, safety.
Black 114! Black 114!
Stout keeps it. He's got a chance at Smith, but can't get it downfield, and he hits Earl Gant right on the hands, and Earl drops it.
Cliff fired that one pretty hard down the sideline. Saw someone coming up from the outside, and Gant hopped up in the air a little bit to try and make that catch. Just bounced off his hand.
Been better off if he'd have taken inside on the letters, but trying to handle it with his hands so that he could bring it down and protect it and find some running room. Stout had hit 6 in a row prior to that drop. It's now 4th down and 4.
Are they going for it?
Looks like it.
Raleigh, what are you doing?
Said he was going to open it up, didn't he?
Is this opening it up? Or what? I like Raleigh, but I don't understand why he decided to go here on 4th down.
Down the middle, Joe Cribbs. Penalty flag. May wipe it out. Cribbs is in the end zone. Let's see about the penalty.
The flag is at the line of scrimmage, or near the line of scrimmage. Looks like the holding area, Keith.
Is no TD. The man is hot.
Raleigh said, don't wire him. Don't put a microphone on him.
Not even in the same neighborhood right now.
That hurts a lot. You take a big chance like that on 4th down.
Holding. Number 81 on the offense. 4th down.
Then you run a play that succeeds with a touchdown. Instead of having the 6 points and the emotional lift, you bring out your punter.
That was 81's Darrell Mason. Tight end. Parsons' first punt today for Birmingham was a 42-yarder. High hanger. He's got it angled to the corner. Got a good bounce, and it is slapped out of bounds by number 26 for the Birmingham Stallions, David Evans. And they're going to mark that football down around the 4-yard line. So the Generals now will start deep in their own territory.
Chili burner, burn it.
Nothing like lingering over a nice, lazy, leisurely lunch. And for that upset stomach trouble that can come from eating on the double, there's new chewable Alka-Mints from the fast relief people of Alka-Seltzer. It would take both a Tums and a Rolaids to get more strength than one Alka-Mint. No leading tablet works better. So, after your next relaxing meal, there's new Alka-Mints. With a strength of 2, it's the one to chew.
Jim O'Brien and family recently lost their home. Today, they're getting it all back.
Allstate update. Home replacement cost guarantee.
Unlike 9 out of 10 homeowners today, the O'Briens never had to worry. They had more than a guard against inflation. They had Allstate's promise to pay to rebuild their home right down to the door knocker, no matter what the cost. That's Allstate's guarantee. You're in good hands with Allstate.
AT&T is in trucks, travel, software, temps. How? With AT&T Opportunity Calling for Business. It can help small business enjoy big savings on dozens of name brand products just by using AT&T long distance service. Our new catalog is coming to your office. Look for it. AT&T Communications. We can help your business in ways you never thought of.
When he was wearing the colors of the Boston College Eagles, Jack Bicknell was his coach. Jack Bicknell's philosophy was when he has the ball, it gets exciting. So whatever he wants to do, sick him. I don't think he has quite that much freedom with Walt Michaels. So he's down here around his 3-yard line, 0 for 5 in the ball game, a 7-7 ball game, 9:32 to go in the first half, and I would think that we'll probably see run here.
We haven't seen Doug Slater really roll out the pass yet.
No, we haven't.
One time, but that's his asset. That's a strong asset for him.
That's Carthen. And Maurice Carthen, who bolted 55 yards for a touchdown to tie the game, works his way up across to the 6 for a 3-yard pickup. David Dumars brought him down. Incidentally, it was Dumars, the strong safety, that got caught in the middle and missed the tackle.
It looked like he
let him go all the way.
Looked like he had a poor angle. He was charging at Maurice Carthen, and he outran his angle. Then when he was just reaching for air.
So it's 2nd down and a long 7. All out near the 6. Carthen again. That microphone and all that grunting and groaning you're hearing down there is the microphone in middle linebacker Bill Rowe's helmet. And you can certainly tell that Big Bill got caught up in things going on that time.
He sure did. He's coming out right now. They're putting in the prevent defense. Those last 2 plays, Keith, the Stallions were playing man-to-man defense, anticipating the run to get as many bodies as possible up on that defensive line.
Ball rests at the 8, where it is 3rd down and 6. Flutie throws it from the goal line, and it's batted down at the line of scrimmage by Doug Smith. 97, he stands 6'5". Well, that's what all the detractors have said steadily, that you're 5'9½", you got problems.
When you're that small, you have to look for alleys to throw the ball, lanes, passing lanes. He's watching his receivers. Look at him moving to find the lane. Then he comes across. He's trying to throw a bullet. That's his natural releasing position, but it's right in the line of fire of a big man in front of him.
All right, he's 6'5". He jumped about 2 feet in the air, then raised his arms on top of it, so you're looking at 12, 13 feet.
Yeah, and you can't, if you're going to throw a bullet, it's not going to get much higher than that.
Right. Partridge out of the end zone. No pressure on him. It's a pretty good kick out of there. Coming back to McFadden at the 41. Beck missed him, and then he slips and falls down. Beck had him, and he almost got away and got back to the open side, but a fine punt by Partridge of 52 yards.
All truck companies talk tough, but only one puts its money where its mouth is. Dodge. Because only Dodge gives you a 5-year, 50,000-mile warranty on engine, powertrain, and outer body rust-through. It covers new 85 full-size pickups, wagons, vans, and Ram Chargers, making Dodge the best back trucks in America. That's guaranteed.
Give me a light. Bud Light.
If you just ask for a light beer, you never know what you'll get.
Bud Light!
So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, don't just ask for a light beer.
Give me a light.
Ask them to bring out their best. Bud Light. Because everything else is just a light.
What do you say, neighbor?
Belushi. Ackroyd. in their zaniest movie ever, Neighbors. Thursday at 8, 7 Central. Parental discretion advised.
The Birmingham Stallions now in a 7-7 ball game with New Jersey, 7-5-4 to play first half. Good field position. The ball at the 45 of Birmingham. And Doug Flutie in his professional debut. 0 for 6.
I talked to someone who was doing a story on Doug Flutie earlier in the year, and doing all the Heisman rush and everything else, he said it took him 18 hours in one day to get 20 minutes alone with Doug Flutie.
Been miserable, I'm sure. He's handled it well. First down, Stout back. Penalty flag, look out for holding here. Dumps it off to Joe Cribbs, and there's a loss on the play back inside the 40 to the 39. Mike Weddington brought him down, but there were a big bunch of red shirts bearing down on Cliff Stout. And the penalty is against Birmingham, and Walt Michaels indicates to his team that he wants them to refuse it, take the loss, and let's spend a moment with Tim.
Keith, Stout has had to go to his safety valve the last couple of times. Here's the call.
Go ahead.
And the reason he's gone to a safety valve, Keith, is because New Jersey's made an adjustment. And you know how we were talking earlier, and Jim Smith happened to mention that there was a soft cushion there. New Jersey was playing off their wide receivers. Well, now New Jersey's walking their cornerbacks up. They're trying to bump the wide receivers off the line, and they're taking more man. They're trying to take away that short pattern. And Stout hadn't been able to find that receiver. Now they back off a little bit.
On second down and long. Second down and about 16. Joe Cribbs picking his way up the middle, and they've handled Joe pretty well today. Weddington, LeClaire, and number 72 at the bottom, Lynn Madsen. He's another Washington Husky on the field.
He's been a solid player for him, too. Doing an excellent job.
Joe Cribbs, 7 carries and 17 yards so far. There's a close-up look at Lynn Madsen and the Don James player. It is third down, 11 now, as Birmingham will work out of the shotgun formation. And those corners roll up there again. Stout's pass to the sidelines is good for a first down to Jim Smith at the New Jersey 43.
Terry Daniels, number 24, made the stop. When I talked to Jim yesterday, he was a little disappointed because he hadn't caught a lot of balls at practice, because the game plan said that he would be double covered most of the ball game. Now, Cliff reads this. There's a free safety, but because of the pattern, Jim going outside and Joy Jones going deep, he got the man-to-man coverage, single coverage, open, good solid pass, good for the first down.
5:55 to go first half. Stallions first down, Generals 43.
White 80! White 80! Pitch out, pitch out.
Little quick pop. Smith can't shake the man. Making the good play is the right corner, Ken Johnson. If Smith shakes him off, goodbye.
Well, that play was called because the cornerbacks had been playing off. Then when you come off the line, they were backing up. At that time, Ken Johnson didn't really back up. He held his ground. Jimmy caught the ball, but Johnson was right there to make the tackle.
Gary Barbaro not with the ball club. Didn't quite recover from an injured leg a year ago. And Jerry Holmes has a broken fibula. So the Generals a little short-handed in the defensive secondary. Johnson stepping in, doing a good job. They go with the ground game. Up the middle, and Joe Cribbs breaks the first tackle and reaches the 30. I tell you, as long as Joe Cribbs is upright with his feet under him, you hold on to something firm, because he might pop out of there any time.
It's like one of those little wiggly worms. You get a piece of him, you think you got him, but he just kind of slides right through your hands and keeps going.
It has been confirmed that Brian Sipe has a separation of the right shoulder and figures to be out anywhere from 6 weeks to longer. On first down, Stout throwing again, looks for Jones. Joey covered up. Stout now comes to the short man, and the pass is incomplete, thrown underneath Leon Perry. The Generals effecting again pressure on Stout.
He's getting the pressure, but here is where a quarterback has to earn his money. He's under pressure. His primary receivers aren't open. He has to be able to read that coverage, look for the secondary guy. If they're covered, don't waste time. If there's no running lane, don't waste time. Throw the ball, get rid of it, don't make the big mistake.
The comparison of the two quarterbacks so far in the game on 2nd and 10 for Birmingham.
Wait, 86-6, slide right.
Checking
Wait,
off.
86-6, slide right.
Intended for Jones, penalty flag.
Chris Stout is feeling very confident, Keith. He's throwing a route coming over the middle to Joey Jones, who gives away a lot of height to the defensive secondary. And watch the coverage he has. He has number 25, John Preston, in there. Number 26, Kerry Justin, coming from the outside. He tries to pop it in over the head of Justin. Then it's a late hit by number 47, John Joyce.
Tom White, the referee.
Automatic first. Let's go.
Automatic first down as the ball goes to the 25. Clock shows 4:10 first half. 7-7 ball game.
Round 82. Round 82.
Cribbs got a little daylight in the middle, spins to the 20. Joyce making the hit. When Jones comes across and goes in motion, he forces movement by the defenders. Linebackers got to keep an eye on him a little bit, at least, and the secondary people have got to move with him. That time, the hole almost opened down the middle for Joe.
It very often will tip off what kind of defense is being played to allow Cliff to get a pre-read, a faster read on what they're doing.
Second down, about 5. Ball just short of the 20. Clock rolling along at 3:15 to go.
Cliff Stout's not happy about something.
Time call by the Birmingham Stallions at 3:15 precisely to go in the first half. We're all tied at 7-7, but right now the Stallions mounting a threat.
Come on, America. Drive over to the new Firestone Supreme Steel Belted Radio.
America's driving to Firestone.
Supreme, our best total performance radio, meets or exceeds Detroit carmaker standards in 14 performance areas. Backed by our best total protection plan, free lifetime tire rotation, wheel rebalancing, and our 1-year free replacement limited warranty. Now, buy 3, get 1 Supreme free. The new Firestone Supreme.
Listen to these stuffy noses.
Afrin doesn't have it.
Tristan doesn't have it.
Only Sinex has it. Ooh! That quick feeling of relief from instantly penetrating Vicks vapors, plus a powerful decongestant that opens nasal passages and allows you to breathe freely.
Ah, complete relief.
For hours and hours. Sinex gives you both instant relief and complete relief. Sinex in regular and extra strength.
From Vicks, of course. Howard Cosell, candid and controversial, bringing you the only regularly scheduled network television program devoted entirely to sports journalism. Get the inside story on ABC Sports Beat, Sunday.
There had been some controversy here in Birmingham this week over the television blackout locally. The Stallion ownership wanting the game blacked out for the obvious reason that television might affect the gate, particularly if the weather was inclement. The initial agreement, however, between ABC and the USFL specifies no blackouts, and the ABC Sports management decided against the local blackout in Birmingham, primarily for the benefit of ABC's Birmingham affiliate. And so the game is being shown in the Birmingham area.
That's that.
For the moment.
For the moment.
Second down and 5. Stop to Cribbs. Cribbs fakes it to Jones. Joe wants to throw it. He's got a little daylight to run. And run he does for a first down.
Oh. A gazelle, Keith. Just unbelievable. The run didn't go for a great deal of yardage. But here's a man who comes out, wants to throw the football, sees the man is covered, goes inside, and just maintains balance, finds an open hole to pick up some yards. Now, if that were me, Keith, I'd throw the football anyway, knowing that my opportunities wouldn't come very often. Joe hangs on to it wisely, steps inside, A lesser back would have been down.
That last stretch, though, is the real measure, isn't it?
Yes, yes. That's the difference between a first down and third down.
Ball is on the Generals' 15. Stout gives it to Leon Perry, the big man, to the 10, to the 9. Rumble, rumble, rumble.
Did you feel it? Did you feel the press box shaking when he was running down the field? This man says, my assets are my size and my strength. Don't waste time with moves. Just run over somebody, preferably a small guy. And with the exception of the defensive line, they're all smaller than him. Leon Perry.
He did not, however, bring a look of pleasure to his coach's face when he showed up at 270. We've now come to the 2-minute mark and a timeout on the field. 7-7 ball game, but the Stallions are trying to change it.
If you're wondering about your future, listen to some people who are sure about theirs.
The Army pointed the way, and I'm going somewhere.
Right now, I'm moving towards my future.
We're getting stronger every day.
All you need is ambition.
I wanted the biggest challenge I could get my hands on.
I'm learning, training, moving.
My future looks great.
I'm glad I'm here.
Dodge announces 550 protection for four-wheel drive trucks.
I think they're crazy.
Covering the powertrain and transfer case for 5 years or 50,000 miles. And protecting every four-wheel drive truck they build against outer body rust through for 5 years or 50,000 miles at no extra cost.
550 on a 4x4? They gotta be crazy.
Maybe, but I'm not.
Dodge, the best back trucks in America, on or off the road.
And that's guaranteed.
There's a professional football league that believes having fun is the most important business at hand. The USFL, where football is still a game.
Legion Field in Birmingham, where the home team, the Stallions, are in a 7-7 ball game with the New Jersey Generals, but right now they're looking at their 10th play of this possession. They've had their conference on the sideline. They've decided what it is they want to try to do in the final 2 minutes, the obvious being, the ultimate goal, of course, is to stick it in the end zone. They're on the 9-yard line. They're looking at second down and about 4. So they probably have their series of plays all determined here now. And let's see what happens.
I think we can look forward to seeing Stout probably roll out and try and throw one.
That's how they got the first one to stop the Mason.
It worked. Keep doing it.
They've got Smith in motion. And they go to Cripps. And there's no room in the middle. As Joe tried to cut back to the middle, there was just nothing there. Emmanuel Weaver filling the hole, but I think more importantly, it was Jim LeClaire who stepped up in there and literally became a lineman. And there was no place for Joe to go.
Inside the 20, what we call scoring territory, you're going to see mostly man-to-man coverage. And when you're playing man-to-man coverage and Joe Cripps is in that backfield, when he comes straight ahead, you don't send someone to the outside to look for him on the pass route. You stay right there in the middle. LeClaire stays home, the outside backers stay home, everybody pinches in and just gets too congested.
They've sent Robin Earl into the game at tight end now, and would read the run. And it goes to Earl Gant. And Gant's inside the 5, and they have a first down. Looks like the mark is right on the 5.
He didn't mark him much inside the 5.
No,
I thought he was at least a half yard across that line.
He's put the ball down right on the 5. That may require a measurement. Tom White will bring the chains on the field, and if they've got the first down, ain't by much.
And if they don't have the first down, I'll bet you Raleigh goes for it.
Think so?
Yeah. He went for fourth down.
He got a touchdown, too, that was wiped out by penalty. He doesn't have to have a first down. There he does. Yeah, he does. About 4 inches worth.
Raleigh Doctor slimmed down. When he was in Pittsburgh, he used to have a nice little pot sticking out there. He used to call him the Pillsbury Doughboy.
No commercial.
No commercials. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. The Doughboy. Excuse me.
First down and goal to go for Birmingham. Now they're rolling along. They've got 2 timeouts remaining. They're inside a minute now as they come deliberately to the line. Well, he's certainly taking his time.
He's calling the play at the line of scrimmage. That's why.
Took a long look at what they were set up in defensively and rolls it out. Now he's got, he's one-on-one, and now they pinch him. And it doesn't work, and they've got 34 seconds to go. Bobby Leopold out of Notre Dame, who had 4 years with the 49ers, number 53. Big Bob was out there, and Cliff rolled out. There he was, looking him right in the eye. So come on.
Yeah, well, and Cliff did what anybody would do in that position, said, take to the ground real quick here. Slide inside.
Timeout spent by Birmingham. They have 1 remaining, and the clock shows 28 seconds to go in the first half. 7-7 ball game.
Bill Lindsay was that man standing next to Walt Michaels on the New Jersey sideline, defensive coordinator. Walt Michaels never looks real happy, does he, Keith?
Oh, once in a while.
I think one time all the last year we caught him on camera with a smile.
The quarterback totals, for the sake of conversation, as we go to halftime. Stout has totaled 126 yards, throwing and running. Doug Flutie, 0.
Ooh.
Of course, he hasn't run at all.
No.
And he's 0 for 6.
Now, that's something I thought he would do a lot of, is roll out and throw the football. And that's a style that would also free him up to be able to see farther downfield, get him away from that wall of defensive linemen that's rushing in.
It's second down and goal. Ball just inside the 5. Stout stands up and goes into the middle, and a penalty flag is thrown. Jim Smith was the man coming across into the end zone in front of Ken Johnson, and it looks like the flag is on Johnson.
Now, the official who called the play, Keith, was in the middle of the end zone behind it. Now, what Ken Johnson might have done was, as he dove,
I just think he had him by the coattail.
yeah, as he dove to knock the ball down in front of Jim, he grabbed him from behind by that shirt sleeve. You see Cliff, he's waiting, looking for him. He comes across, fires it low, right there. Oh, tough call. That is a tough call.
Could have happened earlier, though,
yeah,
when he made his cut.
As a line of scrimmage, but...
Yeah.
Well, defensive backs are never right anyway.
23 seconds to go in the first half. And this time it's New Jersey calling timeout. LeClaire going to the sidelines to talk with the defensive coordinator. First downs, the Birmingham Stallions have totaled 15 in the first half. The New Jersey Generals, 1. ABC News, World News tonight. Coming up later, Sam Donaldson will have a report on the first public appearance of Soviet leader Konstantin Chernyakhov. First appearance in about 2 months. And Dick Shapp will profile the man they call this winter season the chairman of the board, Eamon Coughlin of Ireland, who is having a marvelous year in practice. He showed up on the West Coast and just dominated things out there, and he's just keeping right on the pace. With 23 seconds to go and a 7-7 ball game now, things have gotten very measured for several minutes here. Stout is now talking to the officials. The ball is resting down near the 3.
Birmingham has 1 timeout left, and I think he's getting that cleared with the official, letting him know when he may want to call a timeout. But
now that you could have had a challenge here, the red flag is thrown on the field, and you have had a challenge. Now the television replay is being studied by a review official. There's your red flag. It was down amidst the crowd over there, and I couldn't see it from my angle.
I still can't see it.
But their conversation is going on right now between Cal Lepore, the director of officiating in the USFL, and the referee Tom White. So we'll take it. They apparently have made their decision, and if it is not cut and dried and obvious,
second down,
you're not going to get it reversed. and it didn't appear to me it was cut and dried in any sense there. So as a result of the challenge by Walt Michaels and his coaching staff, they will lose their timeout, and they have lost the challenge as well. Now, your holding could have been earlier. See, when he made his cut and turned on the corner, if in fact there was holding, and in the judgment of the man who was standing right behind them, there was holding. There was a challenge of it. The review official said no way, and right now here we go with 23 seconds. First and goal for Birmingham, and they hand it to Cribbs, who squirts through there, touchdown.
Joe Cribbs played his college ball not far from here, Auburn University. That extra little jump.
I don't understand that last challenge, though. Why would they challenge it? Because the rule clearly says and is emphasized that it has to do with status of the ball.
That's what I didn't understand either.
And the status of the ball has nothing to do with this or the previous play in which a holding occurred. That's Cribbs' touchdown right there.
So the status maybe should not have been allowed according to what they told us.
Well, I would imagine the thinking in Walt's case was the rules on the books. What the heck, I got nothing to lose anyhow, so let me do it, and I'll blow a timeout. But big deal. There's only 19 seconds to play in the first half. Birmingham is now stuck in the end zone with Cribbs' run and leads 14-7.
It would have been third down had they not made it instead of first down. Then, if they held them on one play, maybe they would have gone for the field goal instead.
So you've got 19 seconds to play, and Birmingham leading 14-7 will kick off for New Jersey, and with 2 timeouts, they conceivably could have 3 snaps in the possession, maybe 2. Well, I think a lot of obviously the people all over the country waiting for Flutie to break loose. He has been contained. He has not been able to get outside, and the whole thinking for the Birmingham defensive planning was give him all kinds of looks, get our big people up in the air, block his vision as much as we can, and don't let him get outside.
And you can do that when you're playing against a rookie. That's why I firmly believe that they made a major football mistake in trading Brian Sipes so early and not keeping him for at least half of the season to help this young man break into the game of football on the professional level.
Ball bouncing around. It is picked up by Sam Bowers.
Sam Bowers taking that little squib kick. Has good running ability. He's not necessarily the man they wanted to pick up that particular kick.
From the 42 now. New Jersey has run a total of 14 plays in the first half. Birmingham 41.
No!
Flutie's pass, overthrown, intercepted by David Dumars. And he returns it to the 41 of Birmingham.
David Dumars picked off a pass intended for number 81, Jeff Speck. Last time he was on this football field, or I should say his most remembered play on this football field by the Birmingham fans, was when he picked off a pass against Birmingham, ran it 78 yards for a touchdown while playing with the Denver Gold. Here, ball was just thrown way over Speck's head. Dumars is in position, picks it up. That's his first complete pass of the day.
5 seconds to play in the first half. I like him, boy. I've known him a long time, and there's the thing about him I don't like.
Well, I don't know him, but he's got to be able to have some fun with himself at this point.
Yep. Out back. Want to load it up and go as far as he can with it. Jim Smith in a crowd. Did he catch it, or was it intercepted? I thought it was intercepted by Preston.
But they both caught it at the same time. The
Academics to half over. So it is Birmingham.
Birmingham, who does not score or does not get that completed pass. But let's go right down to Tim Brandt on the sideline.
All right, Keith. First of all, let me ask you about the challenge down here.
Well, it was simple. I thought there was a possibility that our man didn't hit him. They were both going for the ball, but it was the right time to do it. We had 3 timeouts, and I figured I'd give it one shot down in there, figuring if they had to go for 3 points rather than for the 7, because that was the 3rd down. It would have been their 4th down. They'd have been forced to go for the field goal.
And your evaluation of Doug so far?
Well, he's a little shaky yet, but I think everything's going to work out fine.
Okay, well, thank you. Back up to you, Keith.
Okay, 14-7, Birmingham goes to the clubhouse, and it'll be interesting to see Flutie. He's resourceful in the second half. Back with our halftime activities after this message and the word from our local station.
This bus for the crew, restoring America's pride in liberty. Just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser. For all you do, this bus for you. Working hard doesn't have to mean perspiration odor. Give it all you've got. Right Guard Spray can help keep you smelling good for up to 24 hours. That's protection.
Imagine designing a telephone system for a city that doesn't exist yet. Someplace growing with more people talking, more data and video transmission. How can any phone company keep up? With ITT System 12, an extraordinary digital system that expands easily and economically as a small town becomes a big city. ITT System 12 is designed to meet needs that don't even exist yet.
This woman has appeared in the world's most glamorous magazines.
See the whole layout in my head. You like jazz, you want it to help underprivileged kids. Am I right or am I right? I will bet the house that you were a Miss March.
A Miss what?
Moonlighting, a romantic comedy premiering next Sunday at 9/8 Central.
At Sony, we never say never. Or we could never have made our best Trinitron picture better. With a television sound system of impeccable stereo fidelity. With access to almost every video signal. And we could never have created the ultimate Trinitron. Inside and out. Sony introduces Trinitron XBR, the one some said could never be made.
Driving down a country road in my GMC. Seems to be the only life for me. Built to go and price is low as a low price 3-4 truck for the buck from GMC. Rugged and reliable, buddy, that's for me. More truck for the buck from GMC.
A recent study shows a new GMC costs less than Ford or Chevy at your Houston GMC truck dealers.
Ryan O'Neal co-stars tonight at 10:30.
We're at halftime at Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama, with the Birmingham Stallions leading the New Jersey Generals by a score of 14-7. Other games being played today include these: Baltimore and Jacksonville in a 6-6 tie at halftime. Brian Sipe has suffered a dislocated shoulder, right shoulder, and will be out at least 6 weeks. The Arizona Outlaws are leading the Portland Breakers by a 6-0 score at halftime, and that game is being played out in Tempe. I guess it's fair to say the homecoming of Frank Push, who had such great luck and success at Arizona State. Frank now trying to rebuild the Outlaws. About Flutie, this is his day. He is the obvious man. Here's more now as Dick Schaap reports.
In 1965, a $400,000 rookie out of Alabama in the days when athletes still thought $400,000 was a lot of money. In his 4th professional season, Joe Namath, Broadway Joe, led the New York Jets to victory over Baltimore in the Super Bowl, a multi-million-dollar victory that gave the American Football League not only credibility, but parity. Now, exactly 20 years later, another young quarterback has been lured to another young professional team in the New York area, the New Jersey Generals. And Doug Flutie is supposed to do for the United States Football League what Joe Namath supposedly did for the American.
Save the AFL? I didn't know it was saved. I was looking to save Joe.
Well, I think Doug could be the Joe Namath of the USFL.
It's flattering, but I'm not going to try to hold myself to that comparison.
I'm flattered by any time they compare me with somebody that's that good.
The comparison is not entirely apt. Namath personified glamour, high living.
I'm a homebody, a homeboy, as it's labeled, and I like to sit home, watch TV, and relax.
Namath was brash. He guaranteed the Jets would win the Super Bowl.
I will never guarantee victory at any time.
Namath was a master of the put-on. Flutie is learning. As a kid, though, you knew that someday you'd win the Heisman Award and get $1 million a year, didn't you?
Oh, definitely. You know, that was, it was just a matter of time.
What Flutie and Namath do share is charisma. They have never met, but each has followed the other's career. Flutie was 6 when Namath scored his greatest victory.
I watched him, and I was a Baltimore Colts fan, so it hurt when he won the Super Bowl.
It hurt Namath when his alma mater, Alabama, fell victim to Flutie's heroics last fall. Namath watched Flutie win that game and watched Flutie perform the last-second miracle that lifted Boston College to an incredible victory over the University of Miami. Namath was impressed.
His heart's bigger than anyone that size that I've seen for a long time, except for Ray Mancini.
As much as Namath admires the size of Flutie's heart, he worries about the size of Flutie's body. 5 feet 9 3/4 inches tall. You're about 3 inches taller than him. 4 inches taller than him.
Hot dang, did I get up there?
Does it make that much difference?
Yes.
Why?
Yes, it does. As much as I'm pulling for him, because I just like the heroes, the good guys, I think he's going to have a real tough time.
Why?
Size-wise. That's all, size-wise. They've been saying that about him all of his days, practically, as an athlete, and he's overcome it. I hope he does it again. Damn, it's going to be tough.
Namath worries about injury, perhaps because he was so often injured.
When I'm on the football field, I never worry about getting injured. You don't realize that the guy across the line weighs 130 pounds more than you do.
Ron Reeves, the General's backup quarterback, 6'2" and 210 pounds, doesn't sneer at Flutie's size.
I'm bigger than Doug and slower, too, so...
Chris Palmer, the General's offensive coordinator, once a small college quarterback himself at Southern Connecticut State College, likes Flutie's size.
I'm 5'8", so it's nice to look at a quarterback eye to eye.
How tall do you feel?
How tall do I feel? Tall enough to win.
There is one way Flutie could become 10 feet tall. All he has to do is win a Super Bowl.
That's cute. That would be real good.
And then Flutie, like Namath, could forget about all the pressure and all the expectations, forget about the fierce linebackers and the deadly blitz, and enjoy the calmer, more relaxed things in life. Is this real?
Memorex audio tape and Memorex videotape. You'll forever wonder, is it live or is it Memorex?
Good luck.
Thanks.
You're not just another face along the way to another place.
Sorry, can't use them.
Maybe next year.
Don't need them. Great lunch.
You're the pride of United's friendly skies.
Dinner?
Oh, not just now.
Rough day, huh?
Twice that.
Hey, tomorrow's another day.
We should have been here yesterday.
No, they're not right for us.
Got so many ways to fly ya.
Well, maybe I can do
United standing by ya.
Can you help out a dead battery in ATV?
Sure. It's got nothing to add up anyway. Tough trip, huh? What business you in?
You're not just flying. You're flying with friendly skies.
Now, you sure you can get 350 million of them to me by the 1st?
You're not just
How was the trip?
Not bad.
You're flying the friendly skies.
Sunday on Ripley's, watch the world domino record take a tumble. And they're everywhere. millions of mice taking over a town. Believe it or not. There she is. Kirk takes on his deadliest enemy. In the network television premiere, William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy, and Ricardo Montalban. Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. Followed by an all-new edition of Fowler's Bleats and Blunders. It all begins at 7, 6 Central.
Tonight.
Coming up on World News Sunday, we'll have the pictures of Soviet leader Konstantin Chernenko's first public appearance in more than 8 weeks. Chernenko is seen to be alive, but clearly ailing. And Dick Schaap will report on runner Eamon Coughlin, who hopes to become an Olympic medalist in 1988 at the age of 35. Now back to the football game. At halftime in Birmingham, the Stallions leading the New Jersey Generals by a score of 14-7. The USFL, an exclusive presentation of ABC Sports, and today's game being brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers. Reach for that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. And by the U.S. Army, a place to be all you can be. Take a moment now with Lynn Swan to look over some of the highlights of the first half, and the obvious highlights, I guess, would have to be the 3 touchdowns with the Birmingham Stallions going on top first.
Yes, Birmingham overcame some early mistakes turning the ball over to have Cliff Stout march them down the field, some very good running on his own part, to finally find his tight end, Mason, in the end zone for a 2-yard completion and the touchdown. Again, this play was set up because Cliff Stout was rolling out, scrambling for big yardage. Interesting that Mason was nailed for holding, which wiped out another touchdown for Birmingham at a later time. New Jersey got even at 7-7 on this burst by Maurice Carthen, and I think, Swanee, here it's interesting to watch number 22 in white now. He'll come up and try and make the stop, but he comes from the outside. Instead of really going after a solid tackle around the waist, he went for the shoulder pads, slipped off the hard surface. Maurice Carthen picks up a 55-yard touchdown, and those 55 yards account for most of their 73 total yards in the first half on the ground. And in the closing moments that turned into several minutes at the end of the half, Birmingham marched the ball on down the field, and Joe Cribbs wiggled his way into the end zone for the halftime lead of 14-7. Raleigh Dodge football. I think that was the 14th play of the drive, Keith. Consumed a lot of time. Joe Cribbs had some excellent runs. The second effort got him into the end zone on that play. And while just prior to this touchdown being scored and having had a holding penalty in the end zone, and here's a replay of that, the referee had thrown the red flag based on a challenge from the New Jersey Generals coach, Walt Michaels. Now, the definition of the way the instant replay is going to be used by the USFL was that it had to do only with status of the ball. Now, you've talked to Cal Lepore, the director of officiating. What did he say about this particular thing? He verified what you said right after the play, that particular challenge had nothing to do with the status of the ball. The referee made a mistake. When Walt Michaels challenged, the referee should have said, "I'm sorry, you cannot challenge on that play. We continue." It was holding. It was holding. That's it. Okay. Judgment call. What do you think of Doug Flutie's circumstance now? I think it's difficult. I think he's coming out here trying to execute. He's seeing a very good defense by the Birmingham Stallions. Might be a little bit confused. You can't expect him to come in and win this football game single-handedly. He has a team, an offensive team, with a solid running attack in Herschel Walker and Maurice Carthen. He's got a good tight end in Sam Bowers. Walt Michaels will have to utilize their talent until Doug Flutie finds himself in this professional league. The idea that an athlete can walk off the campus, this bothers me a little bit. That suddenly they think that this 5'9.5" 22-year-old young man can part the waters, can do almost anything. Last time I looked, it took a lot of folks to move the football around the field. Now, your reaction to the height that he's been caught up on? Well, I'll be soft or I'll be hard. I think I'll take the hard line on this. I think it's ridiculous. How in the world you can think that a marketing decision is going to make that young man a great football player? You take him off the campus, he doesn't have the experience on the professional level. I think it was completely a marketing decision because of his image and his impact on the gate to have him start this football game and trading Brian Sipes to give him a little cushion, the time to learn this football game. And note on Sipes, Brian, in the first half today in the Jacksonville-Baltimore game, suffered collarbone separation, right shoulder. He'll be out at least 6 weeks. So fortune is not falling on Brian Sipe in Jacksonville, and the jury is certainly still out on Doug Flutie with the New Jersey Generals. We'll be back with the third quarter after this message and a word from our local stations with our halftime score 14-7 Birmingham.
It's your fault my throat still hurts. There's no maximum strength Sucret.
Use new maximum strength Sucret.
Now with 25% more medicine, longer-lasting temporary relief for minor sore throat pain. New maximum strength Sucret.
Now, 25% more medicine.
You're wasting toothpaste. I want all this protection. You want triple protection Aquafresh.
Cavity-fighting fluoride, breath-freshening gel, gentle, effective cleaners in one complete toothpaste.
Mothers prefer it.
Triple protection Aquafresh, a complete toothpaste.
Doug Flutie warming up on the sidelines, 0 for 7 in the first half, and 1 interception. Now, how does this match into the overall halftime stats for the New Jersey Generals? You can see there that Birmingham, utterly the dominant team, and particularly, Swanee, in time of possession.
15 first downs. They've been able to successfully run the football, pass the football. They only tried to go deep really one time. The secondary of New Jersey has been generous.
Ball's in the air for the second half, and it is a short kick taken upfield by Joel Cole. One of Joe Paterno's players, a running back, number 35, and Cole brings the ball across the 30 out to the 31. So Birmingham has the first possession in the second half, leading 14-7, whereas it's been a rough first half for Doug Flutie, the most successful first half for Cliff Stout.
And in that first half, the only things that have stopped the Birmingham Stallions, their own mistakes and turnovers. One in particular.
Throwing a lot on first down. Let's see if he continues in the second half. Yes. Jones to the sideline. Joey's got it. First down across the 40 to the 42.
That pattern was open all during the first half. They only went to it twice, once to Joey Jones, once to Jim Smith. You can anticipate that they'll go to it again. And should the secondary of New Jersey jump all over it, watch little Joey Jones running out and up for the defense.
Picked up 11 yards. Hand off to Earl Gant. And Gant gets to the 44 from the 41. Pickup of about 3.
Keith, we said last year, in reference to the New Jersey General defense, that they're not an emotional defensive team. They don't seem to get worked up for a football game. They don't show any of the enthusiasm that you generally associate with football. And sometimes I think that plays to their disadvantage.
Well, now you've played against his teams, and you've watched him, I'm sure, over the years, and particularly since he took over the New Jersey Generals. Walt Michaels historically has not been a coach that looks for big plays. He wants his team to do it in a relatively orderly fashion. But Flutie's history is big play. And Stout rolling out, pulls it down, and Cliff steps out of bounds. And he gets it up to about the 48. Let's go to Tim Brandt now, talking with Bill Rowe.
All right, Keith, you've mentioned the microphone that is in Bill's helmet. He also was talking about some of the problems Flutie had, and you were telling me you haven't really used all your defenses yet.
No, we really haven't had to because Flutie hasn't been scrambling like we expected. But we think the second half he may come out with some of that turmoil, and we'll have to go to some of the things we prepared.
They've showed you some motion, some misdirection, and you haven't blitzed as much as you have in the past.
No, we really haven't because, our front line is playing real solid football, so we're going to keep with our basic game plan and go after it.
Okay, Bill. We'll be listening. Keith?
Bill, of course, the big middle linebacker for the Birmingham Stallions. From the 48, it is third down and a short 3. Jim Smith coming toward you in motion. And Stout rolls it out. Throws it short, but gets the first down out of it as the pass is completed to Gant out of the backfield at the New Jersey 47.
I like seeing plays like that, Keith, because it's a setup play. All right, Stout's rolling out. Everyone's coming up to stop him running. Gant runs a little short pass pattern. He dumps the ball off to him. The linebacker makes the hit. Now, with Stout running, if they don't come up and hit Gant and cover Gant, stay behind him, he dumps it off again to Gant. Some other time in the ball game, there might not be anyone behind him, and he'll run for days with the football.
Jim Smith had gone on a fly down the sidelines, too, to take the 2 defenders with him. Stout got a lot of room. And does the hook slide at the 32 just before heavy contact with the cornerback on that side. And it's another Birmingham first down.
Number 32, Ken Johnson, was coming up, and Cliff knew that he had pressure from behind. He didn't have a lot of time to wait. But again, he had lots of room. The offensive line, look at the wall they set up to the left, and there's no one on the right. He can't find the receiver, so he takes off. Now, this is what drives people crazy, and this is what Bill Rowe alluded to about Doug Flutie scrambling around. It drives the defensive team nuts.
Stout now has run 5 times for 53 yards, and one of those set up the go-ahead touchdown. This is Joe Cribbs. And Joe cuts it back against the grain, and Jim Byrne brings him down at about the 27-yard line. When you're producing 5, 5.5, 6 yards on first down, you got what they call in Birmingham rally ball.
Yes. And what you have on second down is options. You can throw the pass, you can run it, you can take chances with the ball. Because if you don't make any yardage at all on 2nd and 5, you have a 3rd and 5, and that's a short pass. 18-1, first down.
2nd down and 6. Stout to Smith at the 15. First down, Birmingham.
The defense is getting closer, Keith. Jim Smith ran that hook route on Terry Justin, but it was John Joyce, number 47, who was the right inside linebacker, who came over and made a good stick on Jimmy. You see 26 right there backing up. Smith hooks. See a good angle on the ball. Right there, Joyce comes over, dives for it actually, and it's Justin who makes the tackle. I'll bet you, Keith, I'll bet you that Jim Smith would run that same route, but then take it deep.
Wouldn't be surprised. He's caught 4 for 44 yards along with Jones. They have the same stats at this point in the game. 14-7, Birmingham threatening again from the New Jersey 15 on first down. Stout rolls it right. Keeps it. I think that's run all the way. There was no receiver of consequence on that side. The tight end, Darrell Mason, was in blocking posture.
Absolutely. He's taking advantage of the fact he's having a good day running with the football. But down inside the 20, people aren't going to back up too far. They've run out of room.
Big man Perry comes in, replacing Gant at the Birmingham backfield at 10:50 to go. I would imagine the widest grin amongst those watching here in the upper level at Legion Field right now is probably Marvin Warner.
I think so. Marvin Warner, probably if his team wins this football game, will call Donald Trump up and tell him the results. Give him a more detailed description.
Don couldn't come today. He's off another part of the country. And Cliff Stout, looking at the defense, considering the personnel he had behind him, and then looking at the 30-second clock, realizing he had no time to check off, spins the timeout.
When you're looking for the best in life, you know you got it right here.
There's still a place where the grain is rich, the water's pure, beer is beer, and the brand is Miller.
Miller's made the American way, born and brewed in the USA. Just as proud as the people who are drinking it today.
Miller beer, purity you can see, quality you can taste.
Miller's made the American way.
Do you know me? It's frightening how many novels of suspense I've written. But still, when I'm not recognized, it just kills me. So instead of saying I wrote Carrie, I carry the American Express card. Without it, isn't life a little scary?
To apply for the card, look for an application and take one.
The American Express card. Don't leave home without it.
Saturday, if hard-throwing Pete Weber can win this event, he will be only one victory away from $1 million jackpot. Catch all the excitement on the Professional Bowlers Tour Saturday on ABC Sports.
We've got a shootout in Tampa Bay for you next Sunday afternoon here on ABC. The Houston Gamblers with Jim Kelly and the Tampa Bay Bandits. The Bandits ran their way with Gary Anderson to a 35-7 win over Orlando in their opener last night. But you know that John Reeves and company will put the ball in the air, so it'll be fun to see Jim Kelly, who played at Florida State, came out of Pennsylvania, or played at Miami.
Played at Miami.
Miami, and came out of Pennsylvania. to go to Miami to be a quarterback, and then went off over to Houston, where he just tore up the record book a year ago. So it's Houston and Tampa Bay coming up next Sunday. Time of possession is as distorted in this ball game here as the first down situation. But here's this. Robbie Mafu, the 2-yard touchdown pass to Marvin Lewis. Third quarter score. Jacksonville 13, Baltimore Stars defending champions 6.
Hello.
10:53 to go. Third quarter. Second down, 8 for Birmingham. Ball on the New Jersey 13. The scout drops and hooks one up to Smith. And Jimmy is inside the 5 to the 3.
Timmy Brandt reported to us when Tustout took that timeout. He went over to the sideline. He told Raleigh that Jimmy and the other receivers could run this route and stay open. The corners were laying back. And after consulting with him on the sideline, Raleigh said, okay, go ahead, take your shot. Here's a perfect example of the communication. He gave him good information. Jimmy Smith was wide open, ends up only 3 yards short of a touchdown.
And it's first and goal to go. The Stallions trying to build their lead over the Generals in this opening game of the third USFL season. They stick up the middle with Gant. And Earl Gant maybe inside the 2. All those injuries that the Stars have had, obviously they're, Sutton and both corners, Gibson and Sutton out of the game today.
You can't expect to stop a team when you've got those kind of injuries and people aren't playing well. If they're tentative or they're totally out of the ball game, they're not feeling confident about what they're doing.
Second down and goal to go from the 2.
There's a Mack truck in the backfield.
Leon Perry. He's got it. Touchdown.
There's a line in a song, Keith, that kind of reminds me of Leon Perry. It says, roll on, 18-wheeler, roll on. Something like that. Well, for 3 tough yards, Leon Perry, with a low blocking in front of him, is very difficult to bring down. He gets stopped just short. He just keeps it going.
That was pretty good line surge, too.
Yeah, very good line surge.
So at 9:29, they try to make it a 7-point play, and Danny Miller's kick is good. It is Birmingham now 21, and New Jersey 7. Another look at Perry's touchdown.
Motion by the tight end. The line surge, just a wall of people out in front of him. Defensive people there, but Leon Perry says, I will not be denied.
Birmingham goes 69 yards and 11 plays for its 14-point lead.
Dinerex versus Selsun Blue.
This side here, I've got a tingling sensation. On this side, there's not much any sensation.
Look what you use.
Dinerex.
Each shampoo has one medicine for dandruff. Only Dinerex adds extra anti-itch medicine.
Selsun Blue's lost a customer. I'm a Dinerex man.
Bill Evans can't breathe. Would you try Dristan long-lasting nasal spray?
I'll try anything.
Can you breathe now?
Yeah, I think so.
Prove it. Prove it to yourself. Tristan goes to work in seconds, lasts all day.
To photograph the Earth's resources from the air, they say you need a camera that can see through clouds.
Bad chance.
Can't be done. But Goodyear said, let's try a new way, and developed a special kind of radar. Goodyear? Yeah, the Aerospace Group. Radar that not only sees through clouds, but gives you pictures as sharp as some cameras. Good thing we didn't listen to what they say. Goodyear.
All you gotta do is smell the coffee, splash on Old Spice. Now you're moving, isn't it nice? Standing tall now, you're doing it right. Pour out a handful, splash on some Spice.
Nobody sends more guys out there than America's favorite, unmistakably masculine Old Spice.
Now you're moving, don't think twice. Splash on the feeling, splash on some Spice.
Well, the Generals' defensive group catching their breath. They've been a bit beleaguered by Birmingham's ball control offense, and The Stallions sitting on a 21-7 lead now as Miller kicks off to New Jersey. This is Marcus Hackett. And a young man from Syracuse brings it back to about the 30, where the Generals will have the ball. Now in the first half, and New Jersey had 15 plays. And you add to what Birmingham had in the first half, those 11 plays, resulting in the 69-yard touchdown, and the Stallions now have 53 plays. Danny Knight, number 80, comes to the bottom of the picture. Flutie back on first down. Loops it downfield for Speck. It is incomplete and almost intercepted by David Dumars. Dennis Woodbury, Dennis Woodbury, 21, was the man diving for the ball.
Speck got up okay from that play, but
Flutie's got to roll out.
He's got to. Tough situation for Speck. Flutie puts his ball right up, and he's got people coming over. You see Speck right there. Doesn't look at the ball. Starts looking at number 24, Chuck Clanton. He's going to get hit anyway. Might as well try and catch a dive for it. Might help himself.
2nd and 10. Here's your rollout. Intercepted by Clanton down the middle. Chuck Clanton with the ball inside the 20 to the 19. Let me say this. It wasn't that bad a play nor that bad a pass by Flutie, but Clanton is a heck of an athlete, and he makes a great play.
Clanton read the play very well. Now think about it. When you roll out, you're cutting off half the field because Doug Flutie's not going to throw to the far side. So Clanton knows this. He's watching. He picks up a receiver. Now he cuts off the ball right there. Perfect angle, and he takes off. Again, he picked off 10 passes in 1984 for the Birmingham Stallions. We'll take another look. She steps right in front of Sam Bowers. Sam would have made that catch.
Yep. It's first down Birmingham at the New Jersey 19 on Clanton's interception and return. And the Stallions right now trying to get something like a door slamming going here. Stout runs out of the pocket, runs away from the pressure, and steps out of bounds at the 17. And here's Chuck Clanton now with Tim Brent.
Keith, you talked about what a great play it was. You read it all the way. Tell me about it.
Well, we had a turmoil on. We were cover 3 deep zone. And just rolled my way, and I just cut it front.
Tell me about Doug Flutie. You've been watching him all day. He's struggling. Is he having a tough time reading you guys?
Yeah, we're playing different coverages, mixing it up. You can't tell what we're doing.
All right, keep it going.
All right, thanks.
All right, Keith.
Heard it again. A thief in the night, like a cat.
That's a simplistic way of stating it. He can't tell what we're doing, but that is the bottom line truth of the whole matter, isn't it?
That's it. It's not because he's not talented and bright. He just doesn't have the experience he needs time.
This is Gant.
They've been faking that play all day long, Keith. On first down, that's one of the first times Cliff has actually handed the ball off on that particular play.
The gain is down to about the 13-yard line. 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. And the Stallions, if they stick it in here, got a big lead.
It is so difficult. You have to do some very drastic things when your opponent has everything working so well.
Yep.
In this case, it's everyone from Birmingham is playing great.
Stout out of the shotgun. Unloads it. Pass complete to Mason, and Mason trying to dive ahead and pass the marker. Looks like he achieved it for the first down.
So Birmingham's playing great. New Jersey's got to find something to turn it around. Now, when you're playing great, this is what you start doing. Shotgun. They didn't have it in last year. They only put that shotgun in for the playoff game against Philadelphia last year when they lost because Cliff Stout had a bad shoulder. Raleigh put it in this year for the whole season, and you're going to see this Birmingham team do a lot more from now on in this ball game.
Ball is setting just inside the 8-yard line. First down and goal, Birmingham. Stout 5 out of 5 in this half to 42 yards. On a throw. Gets it away in a hurry, and a penalty flag is thrown by the linesman. The pass was intended for Joey Jones working against Kerry Justin. And Cliff elected to throw the ball low, and Joey really had no shot at it because Justin was between them.
He was under some pressure. Looked like he was going down. The penalty flag was thrown, almost hit number 23, Earl Gant, in the head. I didn't see the preliminary call, but it is against the Birmingham Stallions.
Tommy White, the referee, will define it for you.
Chop block, number 23 on the offense. First down.
Chop block.
They give you the unsportsmanlike conduct signal, but then further define it as a chop block.
Chop block is when you've got a guy, defensive man, standing straight up.
Yep.
Someone's blocking him, and then then another player comes in and hits him low, takes him down.
And for the first time since before the kickoff, we're now getting a little light rainfall. Not much, just a little sprinkle. Ball comes all the way back out to the 23, though. That's a major penalty. That's a 15-yarder. It's first and goal from the 23 for Birmingham. Stout throws, good. Pass is caught by Ken Kohler. When the ball is thrown there and the man is sliding on the ground, cradling it to his body, you need a 6-iron to defend against it. For a sandwich.
And that's something. Something to dig that ball out away from the receiver. He comes across. It is thrown low. Because Kohler does a great job of getting low underneath the ball to pick it off for the completion.
There, the folks bringing out the umbrellas with that little light shower on us. But it's really a very comfortable day. The temperature is pretty close to 70 degrees. Second down and goal now. All from the 7. Stout gets it off in a hurry, and it's touchdown for Earl Gant. He hot-fingered it a little bit before he got the handle, but he sticks it in the end zone, and Birmingham now jumping out to a big lead.
I'm sure for Earl, his heart was in his throat just a little bit. Ball bouncing around, maybe a result of the rain. Coach Stout sets it up very well with the play action. Ooh, almost loses it. A little hip action, bounces it back in. Earl Gant is having a very good day, making it tough for Leon Perry to get his starting job back.
Bobby Lane will hold it. Danny Miller will kick it, and it's good.
We'll take one more look at it. Coach Stout out of Youngstown, Ohio, Youngstown State. There's a Penguin there, a Steeler. Now he's a Stallion. Earl Gant, man, picking up the 6-yard reception.
And with 5 minutes and 14 seconds to play in the third quarter, Birmingham is out to a 28-7 lead.
Father Lawrence Rainville studied for a master's in computer science at Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute in a computer center that was once a church. At Rensselaer, most of the computer terminals are ITT courier terminals. They're used for everything from admissions to research. At ITT, we're helping people use high technology to do their job. Beautiful. No matter whose work they're doing.
When you set out to create the perfect home, start with the windows. The windows more people come home to than any other. Anderson Windows. Far more energy efficient than ordinary windows. Engineered for a life of easy openings, easy closings. Finished with a beauty that will endure for generations. Anderson windows and patio doors are built to last, like the homes they're built into.
Come home to quality, come home to Anderson.
Social programs or subway vigilantes. Richard Trelkeld looks for the answer to crime in America. Monday on ABC's World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Well, I got him everywhere. That's Birmingham's version.
Version of whatever it is.
I'm not sure. Danny Miller will kick off. And Hackett is deep along with Donnell Daniels. And the Generals need some offense. High short kick. Taken well upfield by Jeff Speck. Tight end fumbles the football, and Birmingham's got it right back. Mickey Sutton from Montana covers the ball, and the Stallions get a break. Birmingham's ball on the New Jersey 33.
The rain has stopped again, Keith. So I don't think
that's not a factor.
That's a factor.
He just knocked out of there. Yeah,
just knocked away.
Can't tell who it was that came across and got an elbow on it, but he just flat knocked the ball out of his grasp.
I was about to say with those short and high kicks, and he was not going to be around the football team too long. They keep getting fumbles. What the heck?
Well, of course, the tight end is not used to returning kickoffs either. Stout trying to go big with it. Settles for Joey Jones, and Jones can't hold on. The pass was a little low, thrown in front of Kerry Justin. And so Stout, who was 7 for 7 in this half, misses for the first time.
He held that ball a little bit longer, trying to wait for a receiver to break deep. And that sideline pass is a timing pattern, as I said earlier. So when he decided to go back to it, the timing was off a little bit. He had to keep the ball in bounds. Joey Jones is trying to come back for it.
Jacksonville now a 19-6 lead over the defending champion Stars. Denver and Oakland 7-7. Houston 13, Los Angeles nothing. First quarter, Kelly 13 out of 13 in the first quarter for 121 yards. Little drop, sets the screen. Gant got it. 2 men in front of him. Big play coming here. Gant is inside the 20 and down at the 14. Well, they're tearing him up right now.
Weapons. They have so many weapons. Now, I thought today that the Birmingham Stallions might get off to a slow start. Traditionally, they do start slow. One period during their training camp, it rained and they were indoors for more than a week. But today, everything is going in their favor. Cliff Stout's having a great time. Last year, he came into Birmingham under a great deal of pressure. Today, he is relaxed and as confident as I've ever seen him.
From the 14, Cribbs. And Joe's down to about the 11. I don't know if Steve Young has even seen the ball. If Kelly was 13 for 13 in the first quarter, game's out in Los Angeles.
Could have been a turnover.
I gotta get 2 balls. Yeah. We'll see Kelly next week as we bring you Houston at Tampa Bay.
That was 24, Terry Daniels. You only have to get a few more. 81, Jeff Speck, the man who lost the ball, fumbled it on the kickoff return.
He's got to put that thing away because people are coming at you full velocity. He's not always wise to carry it in one arm, but then again, he's not the kickoff man, is he? 3 minutes to play in the third quarter. Second down, and I think the 30-second clock might have run out on him.
Sure did. Saying 0. Cliff thought he could get that one off. One of the few mistakes he's made all day. Probably didn't look up at the clock.
There's the story of the Houston-LA game, as we were telling you.
Jim Kelly, most valuable player in the league last year.
Oh, he is a horse and a half.
Incredibly talented man.
Portland has scored in the ball game, 7-6. Doug Woodward doing the quarterbacking out there now with the retirement of Johnny Walton and Matt Robinson, who was at Jacksonville, backing him up.
Of course, the Portland Breakers started out in Boston. Then they moved to New Orleans, and the owner, Joe Cannizzaro, moved them up to Portland. One of the players for Birmingham told me, he said, if you want to see the world, join the Breakers.
It's second down and 12 now with the 5-yard penalty. Ball coming back to the 17. Pressure's on. Stout loops it, got it away. He felt the pressure coming, and suddenly, out of the corner of his eye, he saw Mike Weddington in full speed and dumped it.
He had 2 combination patterns working on either side of the one on each side of the field. Looking to his right, he sees the pressure. Fortunately for him, he did look to the right. Had he chosen to go to his left, had he gone to the right, he would not have seen Mike Weddington. Mike Weddington would have laid a good stick on him and dropped him for a sack.
Michael played his college football with the Oklahoma Sooners. 3 minutes to go, third quarter. It is now 3rd and 12.
Blue 87, slide left. Blue 87, slide left.
In the corner, Smith. Good play by Kerry Justin.
Sounds like one of those Pittsburgh plays. 87 would be a pass play, so he did call that play from the line of scrimmage. When he said slide left, that's because he read the defense, the defensive line. Slide left is a signal to the offensive line to slide to the left and pick up a certain player on the defensive team to allow him time. Jim Smith runs the flag route. Ball's a little short.
If Cliff had let it go a little sooner, it might have been 6. 33-yard field goal try coming up now by Danny Miller for Birmingham. Bob Lane, reserve quarterback, holds it. Miller hits it, plenty of leg. And good. Well, the Stallions have it rolling along, don't they? At 2:47 to go, quarter number 3. It is now Birmingham 31 and New Jersey 7.
Dodge announces the toughest truck warranty in America. 5 years or 50,000 miles, covering transmissions, drive shafts, blocks, heads, flywheels, transfer cases, axles, U-joints, water pumps, all internal engine parts, and outer body rust on every truck we build. Ford and Chevy talk tough. Dodge proves it. Dodge, the best back trucks in America. That's guaranteed.
Over the years, we've watched old number 51 retire a lot of ball carriers, but tonight we're going to retire him. So let's do it his way. Turn over those wine glasses and bring on the Lowenbrow.
Just remember, if you guys start messing up, I'm coming back. Let it be Lowenbrow.
Saturday, 2 live world-class events. Knockout artist Aaron Pryor defends his junior welterweight title. Plus, 3-year-olds face their first major test in the Florida Derby on ABC's Wide World of Sports Saturday.
Miller ready to kick it off for the white-shirted Birmingham Stallions, wearing white, even though they are at home with Hackett and Daniel Deet for the General.
Probably they might move up.
Well, yeah, he hasn't kicked the ball, Deet.
He hasn't kicked the ball past the 10-yard line. It doesn't make sense for them to be back that far.
Turnover producing the field goal. This reaches the 11 for Daniel. And Donnell Daniel out of Southern Illinois. He played on the Southern Illinois championship team that Coach Ray Dempsey took down to Charleston, played Western Carolina. Ball is on the 32. Good return by Daniel, and so Flutie has pretty good field position to go to work now. New Jersey has had the football in the third quarter, 41 seconds.
And there's only 2 minutes and 27 seconds in this third quarter.
Flutie's pass. His first completion of the day to Clarence Collins, and the crowd gives him a hand. They're rooting for the kid, too.
Absolutely. The young man's under a great deal of pressure. Many people would like to see him succeed because they like what he has done in college football and what he represents. Clarence Collins goes out. Just a little hitch pattern. They gave him some room. He fires it in.
It's easier to cheer when your home team is leading 31-7, too.
That's true.
Second down, he gained 7 yards on it. Second down and 3, rolls it out, gets it off, lobs it over to Speck. Speck got it. Tough runner, and Jeff Speck moves the football now down to the 43 of Birmingham. In the meantime, the quarterback who had a big day is Cliff Stout. He's with Tim right now.
Feels extremely comfortable, in control. But let's go back 1 year when you were in the same situation as Doug Flutie. What's he going through? How can you empathize with it?
Well, I know it's tough. He's only had a couple weeks, and he's going through the same thing I did, where he comes in, the coach hands him the ball and says, "You're the quarterback." There's a lot of pressure on him. Plus, with all the media hype he's getting, there's even that much more pressure on him.
Keep it going, Cliff. Keep.
First down. New Jersey at the Birmingham 43. Flutie is caught from behind by Don Reese, and they're going to call him down back at the 47. Don Reese, who went to jail for drug problems, whose life was shattered, and he was bounced out of the Miami Dolphins over to New Orleans, tried it at San Diego. He's righted himself. He's been given a chance to come and play pro football again by Raleigh Dott, and Dott says he has just been an outstanding, not only an outstanding player, mind you, but an individual. a man of leadership in all of the training grind getting to this point. And here's another man to root for. Second down, and about 22 with a loss. The sack by Reese, and Flutie gives the ball on a draw. Goes to Clarence Harmon, and Harmon shaken up early in the game. Back in, picks up a couple of yards on the delay. And now they're looking at long yardage on third down.
Running game of the Generals not working, and that's what they were relying on early in the ball game to try and loosen things up. Take some of the pressure off that young man, number 22, Doug Flutie.
Herschel's done nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Hasn't touched the ball since the first quarter. No remaining back now. And whistle stop him before this over. After 3 quarters of play in the opening game for Doug Flutie, the opening weekend for the USFL, we said at the beginning that the Birmingham Stallions would be one of the tougher ones in the league, and they're proving it so. Back after this message and a word from our local station.
Do you know me?
Who cares?
That, of course, is Garfield. He's fat,
full-figured,
ill-mannered, and to think I created him. But sometimes when I travel without the tabby, people don't know my name, so I carry the American Express card, and wherever I go, folks treat me like a fat cat.
Fat chance.
To apply for the card, look for an application and take one.
The American Express card. Don't leave home without it.
Chili burger, burn it.
Nothing like lingering over a nice, lazy, leisurely lunch. And for that upset stomach trouble that can come from eating on the double, there's new chewable Alka-Mints from the fast relief people of Alka-Seltzer. It would take both a Tums and a Rolaids to get more strength than one Alka-Mint. No leading tablet works better. So, after your next relaxing meal, there's new Alka-Mints. With a strength of 2, it's the one to chew.
She took a business based on sex.
A Playboy bunny.
Went undercover.
If I begged, you think they'd let me watch?
And unlocked every man's fantasy.
Show me some cleavage, huh?
I don't like you this way!
A Bunny's Tale at 9, 8 Central.
Tomorrow. The Great American Railroad. They were built to cut coast-to-coast travel from 5 months to 1 week and open up the West. That pioneer spirit made this country grow. Today, I see that same spirit and energy in hundreds of small to mid-sized companies whose new ideas, new jobs, and new technologies will continue to build America. At First Jersey Securities, we specialize in discovering these emerging growth companies for today's investors with vision. First Jersey Securities. Come grow with us.
When you're looking for performance, count on the high quality of Exxon gasoline. And when you buy Exxon gasoline, count on the convenience of your Exxon credit card. Or pay cash and save with Discount for Cash. Either way, when you're looking for performance and value, look to Exxon. Quality you can count on.
Barbra Streisand tonight at 10:30.
The USFL, an exclusive presentation of ABC Sports. Today's game being sponsored by Light Beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer and less. And by Barbasol Shaving Cream. A great shave at a great price. Crowd 34,785. Final quarter coming up. Third down and about 22 for the New Jersey Generals. And Doug Flutie drops. Passes away deep, throwing for Walker. He's got it. Herschel Walker goes deep and makes the catch under great coverage at the 3 first and goal. He just simply whipped Dennis Woodbury.
Well, he's got world-class speed in the 100. Our director, Craig Janoff, is probably laughing at me right now, Keith, because I told him that they probably would never send Herschel Walker deep on the pass pattern in this ball game. They stuck him on the outside as a wide receiver, lined up on the cornerback right there, 50 yards on the pass and catch. Best play. Doug Flutie. A little vindication for him.
And it's first and goal now as they go to work in a hurry in the early moments of the final quarter. Ball is given to Carson, and Maurice Carson is stood up at the 1. Boy, that was a heck of a hit by David Dumars, because you figure Carson, who weighs 220 pounds and is a strong man, was going to stick that in the end zone, because he literally was out there one-on-one, but Dumars hit him right on the numbers and stood him up.
David Dumars is the strong safety. If you're playing strong safety in professional football, it means you're taking on tight ends and fullbacks who are leading.
All goes to Carson again, trying the right side, and nothing doing.
Dumars is there again. You see him getting up out of the pile. David Dumars.
He's a tough kid.
Acquired in January from the Denver Gold. Voted all USFL for the last 2 years by AT. Sporting News, Pro Football Weekly.
Timeout called, an injured man on the field. He's in the white shirt. It's Doug Smith, the defensive tackle. And I'll tell you one thing, they've already lost Mike Perko, and if they were to lose Smith, they're looking at the right leg, it would really make them short defensive linemen.
It really would.
So the New Jersey Generals are knocking on the door. It'll be third and goal when we come back.
Deodorant. The great smell of Brut by Fabergé.
The essence of climbing. John Bucker.
You gotta know the rock. Every inch of it. But what gets you over is a feeling that says you're going all the way.
The essence of shaving.
This is the Gillette Good News disposable razor. Light, easy to handle, twin blade. But what Good News is really all about is a feeling. A feeling you only get from Gillette.
Good news and good news different from Gillette. The essence of shaving.
There is great concern on the Birmingham side as Big Doug Smith has been helped to the sidelines. It appears to be an injury to the right knee area. The football possessed by New Jersey just inside the 1, where it's third and goal to go. Walker over the top. Touchdown. Oh, you knew it was coming.
Well, you knew it was coming, but the referee, he got his hands up awfully early. Some people thought he might have been stopped short, but very seldom from the 1-yard line has Herschel Walker ever been stopped when he gets ahead of steam deep in the backfield and dives into the air. Take a look at it from our camera on the side, get a good view of it. He takes it deep, he speeds, he just jumps over the pile. He's actually caught on the other side of the goal line.
34th touchdown, USFL for Herschel. The kick is up by Ruzek, and it is good.
Take one more look. That play being set up.
Well, the secret here is how high he gets.
Yeah. For legs like those, springboards.
You bet. So at 13-10 to play in the football game, Birmingham 31, New Jersey now 14.
Us syncopators of progressive ribs have a unique style of jawing.
Howard says jazz musicians talk funny.
And after a gig, I finger pop with a light beer from Miller.
After playing, Howard enjoys a light beer.
Light is super cool and a breeze on the calories, you dig.
Light is less filling, with a third less calories than a regular beer. And the taste, Howard?
Oh, man, it's Obop Shaban. Lay down, break down, birdie on the hot side of town.
He likes it.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer. And less.
I'm starved. What are you having?
How about the turkey croquette?
How about a personal computer?
Who are you? You're not my regular waiter.
I'm Ralph. I like surprising people.
Nice-looking machine. Sharp graphics.
Runs all the top software.
Who makes it?
Oh, NCR. It's the NCR PC4. Surprise!
Well, no, NCR's been in computers for years.
I'd like to order.
I know.
Turkey croquette. So, the NCR personal computer. Surprise?
Yes.
A better computer. It's exactly what you'd expect from NCR.
There's a professional football league that believes having fun is the most important business at hand. USFL, where football is still a game.
Next Sunday at 2:30 Eastern Time, the Houston Gamblers, Jim Kelly, and that bunch of Flyers that come out of Houston, the running Gunners, against the Tampa Bay Bandits. Kelly, 14 out of 17 for 165 yards in the first half of that game. Doug Smith with ice on his ankle, not the knee. Well, that's good and bad news, I guess. Here's the kickoff now by Ruzak. High-hanging kick. And it is McFadden. Thad McFadden, the rookie out of Wisconsin, back to about the 20 before he goes down. Doug Flutie facing the sidelines, but right now he's got to hope his defensive people can control Birmingham and give him a chance. He, in this third quarter, or the fourth quarter, and the third, the win and the touchdown march, 8 plays, 68 yards. Of course, a big play was one play, 50 yards to Herschel Walker, but Flutie 3 out of 3 for 76 yards.
Well, all those scores that come as a result of big plays. Maurice Carson, his 55-yard run for a touchdown, but right now,
Kyle Borland.
There's a player, Kyle Borland, who's injured on the field. We'll take a break and come right back.
You know, at Midas, we've installed over 48 million mufflers, more than any other muffler chain. In fact, compare us to any of them, and you know what you'll find?
We've had more repeat customers than they've had customers.
We've done more foreign cars than they've done cars.
And with our Midas guarantee, we've installed more free mufflers than they've sold. When it comes to experience, no one can touch Midas.
It's possible, you know. It's possible to still become too dependent on energy from other countries. But that energy can be taken away. To guard against the possibility of overdependence on energy imports, America makes electricity from energy resources found here at home, like coal and nuclear energy. And we all try to use all our energy sources efficiently. Homegrown energy. That's energy America can count on.
The more things cost, the better they are. That's not always true. Consider Barbasol. Barbasol has as thick and rich a lather as any other leading foam, so it gives you a smooth, close shave. But Barbasol can cost half as much as the higher-priced foams. Maybe that's why Barbasol is America's fastest-growing foam. Saving as much as $1 on shave cream may not mean much to some people, but getting a great shave for as little as half the price obviously means something to most people.
Next Sunday, quarterback Jim Kelly, who last year threw for an all-time pro football passing record, leads the Houston Gamblers as they clash with explosive Tampa Bay at 2:30 Eastern next Sunday on the USFL.
Scoring summary in the ball game to this point. Another injury note of considerable consequence. Chuck Fusina was taken out of the Baltimore game against Jacksonville, with Jacksonville leading 19-6 into the game. And Chuck was taken away to have his hand x-rayed. So some heavy injuries striking key people on this day. Joey Jones in motion from the 20 now for Birmingham, and Stout gives the ball to Earl Gant. Gant gets around the corner. And a first down out around the 33, 34. 33 they'll mark it.
And he stays inbounds. Now it's a score of 31-14. And the New Jersey Journals, having shown their ability to score quickly, you can depend on the Birmingham Stallions to run the football. If they have to throw, more than likely keep it conservative with a short pass, and now run out the clock with 12:10 left and counting in the fourth period.
34 is where they put it. First down. Now taking his sweet time, letting all those others roll off that 30-second clock he can. Keeps it, shoots it to the sidelines, and that one is picked off. Intercepted by Kerry Justin. Justin getting sick and tired, I guess, of being picked on all day. The pass was intended for Toller, and if he had not fallen down, he's in the end zone.
He fell down, fell out of bounds, but that's going to the well once too often. Again, the sideline pass. Cook gets it out there, but Justin just anticipates it, then takes the angle away from Toller by diving in front of him. Big turnover.
And the Generals have the ball at the Birmingham 43 with 11 minutes and 44 seconds to play.
Now, would you believe that Doug Flutie can make another great comeback like he did the last time he was in this stadium?
You want the truth of it. But he's trying. I'll tell you that. He hit Danny Knight on that play, and Danny Knight goes for a first down at the Birmingham 30. I'm not going to say he can't do it because I've seen him pull off too many things before.
It's got a hurry-up offense going. Birmingham quickly changes its defense to a prevent defense.
Flutie has hit 4 in a row now. Looks at Walker, goes for Walker, and he was a little bit behind Herschel. If the ball had been thrown a little more in front of him, he had a good chance to catch it, and that time it was Ted Walton defending.
See Herschel, number 34, lining up just off the offensive tackle. Gets down on 31, Ted Walton.
See, he's open.
He's open right there. The ball's thrown. Ted Walton turns around. Oh, the ball hits Herschel in the hands and bounces off.
It did, didn't it?
Just a little bit behind him. Teddy Walton played in Pittsburgh for a while. He's down in Arizona with the Wranglers, too, before coming into Birmingham.
Second down and 10. Flutie loops it for Walker. And you're going to get a penalty call there on Dennis Woodbury because Woodbury just simply did not allow Walker access to the football, and the ball was certainly catchable.
Well, the ball's catchable. He doesn't allow him access, but I think where he runs into problems, Keith, is by using his hands.
Yeah.
You'll watch. You have Herschel Walker isolated. He uses his hand. He has a good bump. Now, as long as he stays in front of Herschel, he's allowed to be there. But watch him. He'll make contact, and he'll put his hands up again. Now, if he hadn't put his hands up, kept him down to a side.
Number 21, defense, first down.
It could have been pass interference against Herschel Walker.
So the 10-yard penalty, 15-yard penalty puts it on the 25. It turned out to be a 5-yard penalty. 5-yard penalty on the 25. And this is Carson. And Carson runs inside the 20 to about the 19. A lot of time.
Carson could have run just to his left. Didn't really read that as well as he could have. The lefty on the block of Tim Hull.
Back goes Flutie. Throws it down the middle to Bowers, and Sam Bowers inside the 5 to the 4, and a first and goal for New Jersey.
Don't
change it and hurry
In case my voice isn't that good, that was a little bit of the theme song from Rocky. Coming back, fighting back here. Sam Bowers, a big tight end. We haven't called his name very often in this ball game.
On first and goal, Flutie rolls it out, throws it in the back of the end zone. Touchdown! Caught by Danny Knight.
Danny Knight, rated 80 out of Mississippi State. Second year in the USFL, was plagued by injuries all during 1984. They expected great things from him, but most of the time he was nursing an injury. Comes back to make a great catch, and Raleigh Dock is trying to imploring to his team, you cannot sit back on any kind of a lead against a team that has striking capability.
Goes back in for the extra point try. And with 10:04 to play in this football game, you now have a contest. Good. Kick is good. 10-point difference, 31-21, with 10:04 to play in the ball game.
We'll take another look as Doug Flutie rolls out. Maybe he has a little Terry Bradshaw on him, a flair for the dramatic. Trying to bring teams back from behind, doing it as often as he can, doing it frequently.
He's hit 6 out of 7 for 108 yards and 1 touchdown.
Ollie, I can't see.
Relax. I know France like the back of my hand.
We need new Anco wiper blades.
Anco windshield wiper blades for Datsun, Toyota, VW, and other imports are available everywhere.
Much better.
Ollie, are you sure we're in France?
Where do you think we are?
Spain.
Spain.
Anco, the best blades you can buy. Test proof.
I have taken on many fighters and tried many beers. One beer isn't a class by itself. Light beer from Miller. Light tastes great and it's less filling. It weighs in at a third less calories than the regular beer. Yes, I discovered your greatest beer, but I never met your greatest fighter. Hey, who is this Billy Martin anyway?
Billy Martin. He's warm, he's gentle, good looking too.
I got to meet this guy.
Lake beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Well, While we've been away, the quarterback coach for the Generals, Chris Palmer, sat down and talked very quietly and directly with Doug Flutie. Do you sense it starting?
I do feel it.
I'll tell you one thing. If it's going to be like this, though, where they're storming back from a 21-point deficit, Walt Michaels will be farming.
I know I couldn't handle it. Oh, not every week.
Oh, boy. From the 8, it is McFadden. Oh, good tackle. Good open field tackle around the 20.
It's like one of those deer wrestling tackles by Dumont. Around the legs, tie him up, bring him down.
Out of Rutgers brought him down. Well, 9-5-6 to play. 10-point difference, 31-21. Let's see if Birmingham now comes out a little more aggressively in this offensive possession.
They'll have to, because only 10 points up, the way they're playing now, they just got to march down the field, eat up that clock, more importantly than scoring.
Gant with the ball. Number 72 comes across Lynn Madsen and runs him down at the 19. Tim Brandt standing on the New Jersey side of the field. What's the feeling, Timmy?
Keith, you asked that a second ago. I was over here. I asked Herschel if he would talk with us. He said, absolutely not, Timmy, because we're busy. We're going to come back. Same with Maurice Parson. He wouldn't talk with us. With 4, when they were very quiet, when they were losing, almost beaten. You got the feeling that they weren't in the ballgame, that they were lacking the confidence. Now they feel like the momentum has shifted. Keith, you can feel it down here. Things have changed drastically. They feel now at least they've got a shot with 9 minutes left, down 10.
They do have a shot. It's up to the defense, however, right here to control the Stallions. They force Cliff Stout to go to the pass. He keeps it, rolls it deep. Weddington's after him, throws it away. Bounced the ball in front of Darrell Mason.
Very good move, 81. Darrell Mason coming across. Again, Cliff Stout playing a very smart game all afternoon. As you said, roll back deep. Did not want to get sacked or run out of bounds inside the 10-yard line, his own 10-yard line. Dumped the ball into open space.
It'll be 3rd down, 11 for Birmingham as they come up. Right here is where you can make old Mo change colors of shirt if you can come up with a first down. If they don't, look out. Now, quarterback draw. Short of the first down. It's a gutsy call, but he couldn't quite break it enough for the first down, and so Birmingham will have to kick it away.
Well, Riley said he was going to open up things a little bit. This is a quarterback trap. So he takes this from a shotgun position, and he runs up. He really doesn't give the defense a lot of time, the linebackers a lot of time to move out of the way. They're still in the middle of the field. They were there close enough to stop him from getting the 10 yards and the first down.
Parsons in to punt, low snap. Both his previous kick, 42 yards. That one comes back, and it's relatively short, taken by Donnell Daniel, and Daniel gives New Jersey possession of the ball at their own 40, first down. 8:01 to play, and there is a penalty flag thrown back somewhere in the vicinity of the line of scrimmage. 38-yard punt. It's against Birmingham. I would think New Jersey would take the football.
I don't know. Bob Parsons isn't the best punter in the world. They might think they can get better field position.
Lineman on the kicking team, downfield, penalty is declined. Take the result of the play. Timeout.
So the ball is marked just inside the 40, and that's where the Generals will go to work.
Who'd ever think I'd get hemorrhoids? But when I don't eat right, I can get a painful flare-up.
Preparation H often relieves the itch and pain for hours, and it helps shrink the swelling of inflamed hemorrhoidal tissue.
It gave me relief.
Naturally.
Bill Evans can't breathe. Would you try Dristan long-lasting nasal spray?
I'll try anything.
Can you breathe now?
Yeah, I think so.
Prove it. Prove it to yourself. Tristan goes to work in seconds, lasts all day.
Over the past 7 years, Walker Evans, Rod Hall, and Dodge have won more off-road championships than any other truck.
So if you think Dodge is crazy to put a 550 warranty on a 4x4, ask Hall and Evans. Dodge isn't crazy, just confident. And that's why we back every truck we build for 5 years or 50,000 miles at no extra cost, covering the entire powertrain and outer body rust-through. When Dodge talks tough, it's not just talk. Dodge, America's best back trucks.
And that's guaranteed.
Interesting wide world coming up next Saturday. You've got Aaron Pryor undefeated against Gary Hinton, the lefty out of Philly. And you'll also have the top 3-year-olds in their first major tests on their way to the Derby as they go in the Florida Derby from Hallandale.
I saw Aaron Pryor and his trainer, Richard Cicchetti, in Los Angeles last 2 mornings working out. I'm telling you, Aaron Pryor looks fit. He looks ready. Very excited about this fight coming up.
Tough customer.
And I'll tell you one thing. I'll give him the right of way when we're jogging.
Don't blame you. Let's say it's the 39, because that's really where the ball is closest to. And they pop it in the middle to Carthen. Carthen is thrown down at the 43 with the clock running at 7:35 to play in the ball game. 31-21, Birmingham. And it was utterly lopsided. Devastatingly so, really, for Doug Flutie in his debut until the late stages of the third quarter and now into the fourth quarter. And Flutie drops. Takes off and lobs it downfield, complete to Collins. Where was he in the line of scrimmage? Pretty close. That'll be a first down as Collins was down inside the 40 of Birmingham.
Watch it again. You heard Joe Rowe in the first half say that they're confusing Doug Flutie, but they anticipate him running. And then the problems right here, just a quick little scramble. The linebacker came up. Ken Kelly opened up the receiver.
Left. He was inside his line of scrimmage. He had not crossed it. One more step, though, and it would have been possible. Moving the chain for the first down. Crowd now of almost 35,000 banging away, trying to get their defensive unit to come up with a big play. From the 37, they're causing Flutie some trouble. He wants to check off. Now he's called his play at the line of scrimmage and drops back to throw. Going deep, Collins. Not quite. Woodbury that time was able to stay with Collins, and it was just off his fingers.
Woodbury was stride to stride, maybe just a little bit out in front, and Collins was running, throwing his elbows back, trying to get out in front. Looked like there was some contact, but there wasn't really.
Crowd coming up now as New Jersey comes to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10, dumped off and intercepted by Woodbury. And Woodbury runs it back to the New Jersey 44, first down Stallion.
And I do believe it's the third pass picked off by Doug Flutie.
Fourth turnover.
Fourth turnover in the ball game. Tries to find his receiver. He's under pressure. The number 21, Dennis Woodbury, is there. The ball thrown behind the receiver. But then again, you see Doug Flutie coming over to make the stop, saving the touchdown.
Well, you know, there's the conditioning of it now, because at that time it looked to me like he had a lane to drill it.
He certainly did.
He had been forced so much of the day to lob it over. He went for the lob again, and this time it blew up in his face.
That's a tough angle, though, Keith. If you drill it into that receiver, well, maybe he doesn't make the catch.
Flips out from the 44. Throws out of bounds as Smith took it inside. Stout threw it outside.
Smith took it inside where he was supposed to go. The defense of New Jersey took it to Cliff where they were trying to go, and Cliff put the ball out of bounds to save himself a sack.
And time 6:59 to play in the football game. 31-21 Birmingham. You know, the way I'm noting what's going on the New Jersey there with the people involved in that discussion, I don't know, you know, might have been somebody wasn't in the right place at the right time, too.
Could have been.
2nd down and 10. Stout gets it away under pressure. Jim Smith, touchdown.
44 yards on the pass play and touchdown. Part of the Pittsburgh connection here in Birmingham, Alabama. Pushed out Raleigh Dot's Jim Smith. Came down from one Steel City to another. Maintained the connection. You watch pushed out. Dropping back.
Now he gets whacked just
he
as
gets
he
a lot
turns
of
it loose.
pressure. He hangs in there. He waits for Jim Smith. Holds it. He's taken down by Kyle Borland, number 50. But he lets the ball go, and the ball flies true.
Never saw it, did he?
86. No, he never saw it. Jimmy hanging on to it, saying to himself, I'm wide open, just catch it and score.
So Cliff had missed 5 in a row, and then suddenly comes back with a big one. And Miller in for the extra point try is good. And so it becomes a little different picture now. At 6:51 to play in the football game, Birmingham regains a comfortable lead of 17 points.
My dandruff shampoo is good.
Maybe you should try something else. My dandruff shampoo really works.
Maybe you should try something else, like Selsun Blue.
Doctors and pharmacists recommend Selsun Blue more than all other leading brands combined. It's #1.
What that means to you is no leading brand gets rid of dandruff better than Selsun Blue. Ask your doctor or pharmacist, or try it yourself.
That's all the proof you'll need. Selsun Blue. It's #1.
Listen to these stuffy noses.
Afrin doesn't have it.
Dristan doesn't have it.
Only Sinex has it.
Ooh.
That quick feeling of relief from instantly penetrating Vicks vapors, plus a powerful decongestant that opens nasal passages and allows you to breathe freely.
Ah, complete relief.
For hours and hours. Sinex gives you both instant relief
Ooh.
and complete relief.
Ah.
Sinex in regular and extra strength. From Vicks, of course.
Jim Smith, the man that just scored the touchdown, having a big day in the opener of 1985 for the Stallions.
Former Wolverine, one of Bo Schembechler's boys.
Miller kicks off. Hackett runs it down at the 6. Tries to get outside, and Woodbury, who intercepted the pass to set up the 44-yard touchdown strike by Stout to Smith, runs him down and brings him down. The Jacksonville Bulls have upset the Baltimore Stars. We told you that Chuck Fusina had been taken out of the game to have his hand x-rayed. We told you that Brian Sight had a dislocated shoulder, a broken collarbone, I guess it is. But Robbie Mafu steps in, and the Jacksonville Bulls pull off a stunning upset. And Oakland leading Denver.
Oakland's going to be a tough football team.
Yeah, I think so too. You bet. You betcha. Bobby Hebert was the starting quarterback out there today. This is Flutie. And runs away from the crowd. This is where he'll drive you crazy, and he's got a first down.
Did they touch him while he was down?
Well, I don't know.
You know, oh, boy, I'll tell you, one of the things you have to remember, in college football, once you hit the ground, the play is over. In professional football, someone has to touch you. He looked like he stumbled, and I just for a moment thought no one touched him.
That's his first real scramble of the day. Flutie goes down the middle with it, and the pass is slapped away, intended for Herschel Walker. Linebacker Bill Rowe had dropped off to help cover.
Ooh, boy, my heart jumped in my throat, Chief. I thought, as we look at this last play, Bill Rowe, the middle linebacker, I thought for sure he had not been touched, and he just jumped up and left the ball sitting on the ground. The official was standing right next to it. He would have been in trouble.
Second down and 10. Number 37. He's got Bowers, but he rolls the other way and can't see him. Instead, delivers the ball to Harmon coming out of the backfield, and he's got a first down. Clarence getting just beyond the marker.
Now, Chief, you had asked if he had rolled past the line of scrimmage earlier. Well, that one was even closer.
Was it?
Oh, yes.
What's up? Stay for a moment. Get you back.
I certainly do think he adds some excitement to an otherwise dull New Jersey offensive football team.
No question. Penalty flag now. You might have a holding call coming here as Walker was downfield, turned back to look. Dumars was there with him, and the ball was thrown away. Let's see about this. This could be holding. Time remaining, 5:29. illegal use of hands by the offensive team.
Keith,
sir,
when the Generals started coming back and the pressure was on Birmingham, Woodbury's pick off of that pass, this Birmingham team let out such a sigh of relief.
No question.
Because they were starting to feel pressure. As one team was loosening up, the other team was starting to tense up.
Number 68 on the offense. First down.
So you've got the double effect of one team doing better and the other team trying to, falling into a hole.
It's now 1st and 20 out of the shotgun. Pressure, pass away, Walker, penalty flag down. Herschel is hit hard by Ken Kelly just as he caught the ball. Let's see about the flag. I got a feeling it's a call against the offense, an ineligible man downfield, and that's what it was.
Had number 99, Ron Padgett, number 98, Jackie Klein, who were charged storming in on Doug Flutie while he was trying to set up that screen.
Oh, they're going to go from 1st and 20.
Ineligible lineman, number 58 downfield on the offense, 10 yards, losses down, second down.
So it's 2nd down and 30. Again, penalty flag. The pass is thrown down the middle and intercepted by Woodbury.
But it won't count.
Or is it Clanton? Clanton.
It won't count. It'll be against the defensive line of Birmingham.
Both teams kind of showing early season opening game jitters here in this one, aren't they? At various times and varying degrees.
No start on the defense. It'll be a 5-yard penalty. Accept it, and it'll be still second down.
Now the flag starts to take it the other way. That was Clanton that came up with that pass down the middle, but as Swanee said, doesn't count. 5:09 to play.
That's two big plays that have been taken away from the Birmingham Stallions. One a touchdown by Cribbs when there was holding on the play, and now this interception by Clanton.
Ball is on the 34. Back goes Flutie. His pass is off and incomplete. I don't know whether he was throwing for Walker or whether he was throwing for Knight, and Herschel turned around and looked at Danny and said, "Me or you?"
Yeah, and Doug Flutie, it was getting awfully tight for him back in that pocket.
They've got to go just inside the Birmingham 41 to get the first down. They need 25 yards. 5:01 to play.
Well, at this stage of the ball game, I'm not going to say whether I think they'll get it or not. The way they've been playing.
Well, I think losing Big Doug Smith in the trenches probably has hampered Birmingham somehow. Flutie back, 1 out of 7 on 3rd down. He shoots it. It is caught by Walker on the ricochet. It was on the hands of Ken Kelly, the linebacker. He couldn't hold it because Flutie throws it hard. And pass was a low and perhaps a little short, but Herschel will catch it on the ricochet.
4th down, about 4 yards to go, Keith. It would have been a great play by Kelly. Just, like you said, too fast, couldn't hang on to it.
4th down and 4, and Flutie gets past the marker on the far side of the field, goes inside the 40, and there's your first down. Don't ever doubt this young man's gizzard.
I tell you, I'm not a real gambling man when it comes to football, but I think this man is going to give the bookmakers a little problem trying to figure out what the score of the ball game is going to be.
39 of Birmingham and a first down. 4:44 to play in the game. A 17-point lead, 38-21, Birmingham. Italians might have been a little complacent, but they're not now. Here's Flutie on a rollout. Directing traffic, shoots it down the middle. Pass is caught by Danny Knight, and it'll be another New Jersey first down inside the 20. This is Flutie's game right here.
Yep, rolling out, dropping back in the pocket first, looking downfield, then scrambling, becoming a traffic cop, yelling at Danny Knight to come on in. He comes in just into an open zone, and that's what they're playing in the secondary, deep zone.
And he's got an arm. Don't think he doesn't. On the first down play, Walker, one-handed grab, and Herschel can't pull it down. He had a lot of company from Dennis Woodbury and Chuck Clanton.
Dennis Woodbury, number 21, coming over from his left corner position, playing underneath Herschel Walker. Flutie lofts it up in the air. Chuck Clanton, number 24, will try and come over. He's almost too late as Herschel really gets up, almost makes a spectacular
Close
catch.
to making it.
Clanton was waiting for that ball to come down a little bit lower. Receivers are taught to go up for it at its highest point.
In the first half, Doug Flutie had no yardage. Second half, 199. Most of it late in the third quarter and in the fourth quarter, and this is Clarence Harmon. And Harmon goes down around the 5, but there's a yellow flag laying on the field.
Who is it this time? Birmingham or New Jersey?
Oh, no.
Hurry up offense. Players are getting tired. It's the first game of the season. They're not really in top game shape yet.
Encroachment. Right corner on the
Offside
defense.
Birmingham.
Penalty is decline.
Harmon reached the 5. It'll be first and goal for New Jersey.
It'll be first down, New Jersey.
Last 13 minutes of this game, Keith, is quite respectable.
Donald Trump can quit kicking the sofa.
He sees hope.
I can imagine how depressed he was for a while. It's Flutie rolling left. Shoots it in the end zone, and it is caught on the rebound. There's a flag thrown in the end zone. Woodbury slapped it away, and Clarence Collins dove for it and came up with it, but let's see about the flag.
I think that was Marcus Hackett, Keith. I'm not
Was
sure.
it Hackett?
Hackett. I think it bounced off Clarence Collins, and then Hackett caught it. The officials are talking down there. I don't know what the call is.
Pass interference. Number 21 on the defense. Penalty is decline. Touchdown.
It's a touchdown, and it goes in the book for Hackett. You're right.
There we go. We'll watch it again. Doug Flutie waiting. Receiver pops open, fires it. Now watch it. It'll bounce right off 82's hands, his chest, and Marcus Hackett's right there to pick it up.
And the extra point try by Ruzek is good. And it's a 38-28 ball game with 3 minutes and 38 seconds to play in the ball game.
Well, this comeback trail, Pete. Walker scored with 13 minutes, 10 seconds into the fourth period. Knight then came back, caught a Doug Flutie pass with 10:04 into the fourth period. Hackett comes up with his catch at 3:38 into the fourth period. 21 points in a 10-minute span.
Well, now, when Boston College came down last September 8 and played Alabama, a game that we did as our opening telecast in the college game, Alabama was utterly dominant in the first half until Perry Good got hurt. And when Good was hurt, Alabama lost some of its momentum. They were looking at, if I remember, a 14-point lead or something like that. 17-point lead. And then all of a sudden, in the second half, he started it. And BC pulled out a 38-31 win.
There's a player on the Birmingham side right now, Paul Caruth, who was in that ball game.
Yes.
And imagine right now he's sick and tired of Doug Flutie pulling these kind of antics in this football game. He does not want to see his team lose this ball game like the Alabama Crimson Tide did.
Herschel Walker has become a very obvious member in the receiving corps for New Jersey here in this fourth quarter. As far as Herschel's running game, 5 carries, 9 yards.
I know that when Herschel Walker came into the USFL from Georgia, we're looking at an onside kick attempt right here.
There it is. No, it didn't go.
Didn't go 10 yards.
Didn't go 10 yards.
Don't get another chance.
3:32 to play in the football game. That was a rather feeble attempt at an onside kick, frankly.
Oh, he just took too sharp an angle. Ball went out of bounds after having only gone 5 yards downfield.
You got to bang that thing and make it bounce.
I was saying about Herschel Walker. At Georgia, I think in the 3 years he played there, he only caught 30 passes or so. If that many. I think maybe it was closer to about 20, as I recall the stat when I put it together last year.
Here's another injury information that we're told that Marcus Dupree was carried, the Portland Breakers running back, was carried off the field and headed for X-rays on his knee. Tommy White here to define the call.
They decline the 5-yard penalty and elect the option by rule to have the ball at the 30-yard line. First down.
So that's the change in the rule for the USFL this year, that instead of inflicting a 5-yard penalty on the onside kick that went out of bounds and making them kick over from the 30, they have the option of taking the football at their own 30, and that they have done, leading 38-28. Joe Cribbs of Leon Perry in the backfield behind Cliff Stout.
Round 85! Round 85!
85 would be a pass if he's calling the play at the line of scrimmage, I think.
Nope. Cribbs.
He did not call the play at the line of scrimmage.
New Jersey calling the timeout to kill the clock at 3:01 to play in the football game. And it looks the Generals now have 2 timeouts remaining. 38-28.
It's tough, Chief, to be on that emotional roller coaster. When you're at a high, you're at a low, you're at a high, you think you've got it won, they challenge you, then they put pressure on you again, then you come up with 2 big plays, an interception, touchdown pass to Jimmy Smith. You think things are wonderful again, and the opposition comes back again. A worried look in Cliff Stout's eye tells the story.
Hey, he's offside. Yeah, this is a delay again. Take the free. If you don't have anything, look at the check down on the 60 just back. More information on the day.
Well, there seems to be a little more of an energetic tone on that New Jersey side. It picked up really at the close of the 3rd quarter, and it has remained so throughout the 4th quarter. Stout, big day for him, 285, 219 through the air, and he's run for 66. Next week, we'll see Jim Kelly and John Reeves greasing their holsters. Game in Tampa Bay. 2nd down and 9. Stout caught behind the line of scrimmage and falls down. He almost slid away from Mike Weddington, but he's dropped inside the 30. And once again, New Jersey's going to call a timeout to save time. 2:52 to play in the game. And the Generals now have 1 timeout remaining.
Vic LeClaire going over to the sideline, hoping their defense will hold, give them the ball back with enough time to score quickly, and then try another onside kick. The question is, if they get down close, if the New Jersey Generals stop them here, they get the ball and they move down quickly to Birmingham Stallion territory. And it's 4th down, they have to make a decision between the field goal and scoring a touchdown. Does Walt Michaels go for the field goal and maybe a tie if he gets the ball back? Or does he continue to go for the touchdown?
Well, you've got a 2-point option.
That's right, the 2-point option. So he can go for the field goal.
Well, a tie is certainly not going to hurt you as much as a loss.
And certainly when you were down by as much as 17.
And just the mere fact that your team came back the way that they have come back gives you something to work with going into the next one. It is 3rd down and 13. Out of the shotgun, ball is handed to Joe Cribbs, gets away from 1 behind the line of scrimmage, but he can't handle the crowd. And it'll bring up 4th down and about 11. John Joyce, who's developing into a fine linebacker. Ken Johnson coming over to help him.
Well, the strategy at this point has worked out fine for Walt Michaels, using his timeout to preserve the clock.
He just finished last week.
4th down.
That's not too bad. Now, it's 2:36 to play. When the Stallions got the ball, there was 3:01, if I recall. New Jersey offense, the first 3 quarters, totaled only 89 yards. Their 4th quarter offense, 2:01. I don't know how you explain something like that. I really
I was
don't.
just thinking about it. You go crazy.
Yeah, it's. I think it had to do with what was said some time back that when the Stallions had the big lead, and it looked like they were really going to just slam the door on the fingers, and they might have gotten a little complacent, perhaps a little conservative, and there you are. One big play, the 50-yard pass to Walker.
Inspiration.
And that was it. But it is still a 10-point lead for Birmingham, 38-28, and time certainly on the Stallions side, 2:36 as Parsons comes into punt. Bob's got a good one. Daniel backs up to the 29 and fumbles the football, and it is rolling around on the ground.
Birmingham, I think, has it.
They do. New Jersey with no more timeouts. Daniels looking around, trying to find some place to go with it, trying to make a big play, and wound up doing nothing but messing everything up, turning the ball over as Doak Field comes down to cover for the Stallions.
Right there, you see he's running sideways, looking for that ball, gets his arms stretched out. Ball goes right between. So the falling on it, he tries to pick it up. When he does that, the crowd is upon him, and Doak Field is the man of the moment.
And I think that thump you just heard was the door. No more timeouts remaining for the Generals. And the ball is marked inside the New Jersey 31 and owned by Birmingham. And Cliff Stout now, at the 2-minute warning, coming across the field to talk to his coach, Raleigh Dotch, and figure out what it is the coach wants to do in this possession. Of course, you know what he wants to do. Run 10 plays, stick it in the end zone on the last second. That's what he would like.
I don't compete anymore, but I still pump iron. So after lifting a few hundred pounds, it's nice to lift one of these. Light beer from Miller. Light tastes great, and it's less filling with a third less calories than the regular beer. Now, you know, bodybuilding is hard work, but having a great body has its advantages. Sure makes it easy to pick up guys. Hi, Rodney.
Oh, well, hi there. What's going on here? Hey, honey, how about a lift home, huh?
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
I get a kick out of people who say, Arnie, you don't have to do another thing. Just relax and enjoy it. Well, I'm not made that way. And neither is Pennzoil. Pennzoil is always testing itself to the limit, making sure it can handle any engine protection you need. Any.
Pennzoil. Quality protection. Ask for it.
Well, it's the old clock killer from here on. 1:58 to play in the ball game, 38-28, and just wandering past some of the other news items of the day. Brian Sipe, broken collarbone for the Jacksonville Bulls. Chuck Fusina, the Stars quarterback, was hurt. X-rayed on his right hand. We don't know what the extent of that injury was, but we can tell you that Jacksonville did upset the defending champions, beating Baltimore. And Marcus Dupree has suffered a knee injury that required some X-ray.
Close there.
And we had one other. Jim Kelly had a great day, at least in the first quarter and the first half against Los Angeles, in Los Angeles.
Doug Smith here.
But Doug Smith has suffered what appeared to be quite a severe ankle sprain, big defensive lineman. So it's been a day in which a lot of key people have been damaged.
Flank left.
Say one thing, the Portland Breakers can't afford to lose Marcus Dupree. They need him.
And they need him. He was out quite a bit last year with hamstring pulls.
That's Earl Gant getting the first call, slamming into the line.
New Jersey has no timeouts left in the ball game.
Can't stop the clock now, and it just starts rolling.
So Cliff Stout will use up as much of the clock as possible in calling the play, coming to the line of scrimmage, handing the ball off. He does need to run the plays to use up a few extra seconds before he can just flop down on the football.
Round 82. Round 82.
Over the big man, Perry. And Perry runs it down just short of the 15 for a first down. Leon Perry carrying. Well, they might score yet. That'll stop your clock. It always stops in the USFL in the final 2 minutes, as it does in college football, to move the chains.
No, the clock's still rolling here.
Well, only when the ball is placed.
Yeah.
Once the ball is placed, then the referee rolls it.
I'll tell you one thing. If you give the ball to Perry, he's got a little more incentive to try and score, trying to win back a starting job here after having come in training camp a little bit overweight.
Got his work cut out for him because Earl Gantz had a pretty fair day. Snap, and Stout just sitting down with the ball, and that gets your clock running. They'll have to snap it one more time. Or will they?
Nope. The 30-second clock is just now starting, down to 27 seconds, and 21 seconds now rolling off on the game time clock.
So it's a win for the Birmingham Stallions to start the '85 season. They were in the playoffs a year ago. And Coach Raleigh Dotch now walking over to visit with Tim Brandt.
All right, Keith. Raleigh, you've got to be pleased. They really played well. I had to score Doug Flutie really frustrated in the first half.
Well, he did, but as you saw, he got better and better, and he's going to be some quarterback before he's through. Our ball club played well. I was happy that we got some points up there. Special teams played well, and defense, first half throttled them, and the second half got a little lax.
I think you're right. Doug Flutie will make you think a little bit, won't he?
You betcha, and I won't look forward to playing him back in Meadowlands.
All right, Raleigh. Thank you very much. Good luck.
Okay.
All right, back up to you, Keith.
Well, Swanee, what do you think of the young man from Boston College?
No, I think he obviously is only going to get better. I think we saw a good glimpse of what he is capable of doing in terms of leadership, inspiring this football team and not giving up in the late goings of a ball game. We've seen him do it in college many times. I think he showed here that he's going to continue in the same vein as a professional.
I think we also saw something else, and I believe that Walt Michaels would confirm it if you talked to him. We saw here, to a large degree, the result of preoccupation with trying to train a quarterback in a very, very short period of time, which means that a lot of the other elements of the ball game, and probably elements involving your running game as much as anything, had to be bypassed or even just put aside for the time being in order to give Flutie a reasonable arsenal to work with.
I think that's correct. Now, when Tim Brandt talked to Cliff Stout, Cliff was saying how he understood the pressures that were on this young man, having come from Pittsburgh to play for the Stallions. But one thing that Cliff Stout had in his favor, he had a number of years as a professional quarterback before he came to Birmingham to play back-to-back seasons. Doug Flutie has not had that experience. He's come from a Boston college, had to come right into professional football where things have changed greatly. I think right now, Tim Brandt has got Cliff Stout on the sideline, and we'll get down to him.
All right, Swanee. Just talking to Cliff, it looked like you were having fun out there today. I mean, you were smiling, you were reading extremely well.
Well, we did have fun out there today. They gave us some looks, and it seemed like everything we tried just fit in perfectly. Our guys were picking up the audibles when we had to call them, and everything just worked well. And it's really a good feeling, especially considering we only had the one preseason game, and our starters only got to play a half in that.
I want to ask you this. Did you ever see the touchdown completion that you threw to Jimmy Smith?
No, I didn't. All I saw was the gray sky. I heard the crowd roar, and I thought he made a great catch. I couldn't see any way I could put that to him in stride, but he picked up the audible. We tried to do the same thing to play before, but or he thought I audible did the same thing, so he didn't get the blitz control. We came right back with the same audible, and he just ran a great route.
Much better start than last year for you.
Well, I'm a little more happy with it. Last year, I think I played a quarter and a half. I might have made it to halftime, but I've had a year under my belt to work with these guys, and I just feel like a completely different person. We all work together well. They know what I'm thinking. I know what they're thinking, and it makes a big difference.
Let me ask you this. I'm sure everybody in the country is thinking what you think about the performance today of Doug Flutie.
Well, he had a little shaky start, but I thought he played great in the fourth quarter. He really came back, and he shows what he was made of. I know you drop back in zones and stuff, and you let him have short things, but he was taking long things on us. And he's a competitor, and he's going to make the big plays. And I'm glad we don't have to play him for the last game of the season again, although I don't want to give him that much time to get better. But he's a good quarterback, and I'm going to enjoy watching him.
Now, last year you were thrown into a situation very similar and got off to a rocky start yourself. Then when I talked to you on the sidelines earlier, you said, they ought to take him out right now before his confidence goes. Wrong, Coach. They kept him in. He did quite well, didn't he?
Well, I thought he did. I was wrong. Last year they did it to me in the same situation, but they put that money into him. He's the quarterback, so you got to go with him the whole game.
All right. Good luck to you the rest of the way, Cliff.
Thank you very much.
All right. So that's the story down here, Keith. Back up to you.
Cliff Stout, who had a big day today in leading his ball club, the Birmingham Stallions, to an opening weekend victory over the New Jersey Generals. There was, however, again a reminder, a stunning upset where Jacksonville beat the Baltimore Stars, the defending champions. And so we look ahead to next week when we'll have a chance to see John Reeves and Jim Kelly hook up in a duel as we bring you the Houston Gamblers and the Tampa Bay Bandits. The executive producer of ABC Sports is Roone Ehrlich. Coverage of today's game between the New Jersey Generals and Birmingham Stallions, produced by Ken Wolf, directed by Craig Janoff. Our technical director, Rich Gelber. Associate director, Rob Miner. Now Keith Jackson, along with Len Swan, Tim Brandt, and goodbye from Legion Field in Birmingham. The United States Football League is an exclusive presentation of ABC Sports. Today's game brought to you by Light Beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer and less. By the U.S. Army, a place to be all you can be. By the NCR Personal Computer, a business computer that's everything you'd expect from NCR. And by New Alka-Mint, the chewable antacid from the fast relief people of Alka-Seltzer. Coming up later on ABC's World News Tonight Sunday with Sam Donaldson, a report on the first public appearance by ailing Soviet leader Konstantin Chernyakov, his first appearance in 2 months, and Dick Shepp will profile the chairman of the boards in the winter track season, Olympian Eamon Coughlin. Once again, your final score of today's game, Birmingham 38, New Jersey 28. Travel arrangements made through and promotional fee paid by United Airlines. United flies more people to Hawaii than any other airline. Nobody knows Hawaii like United. This is a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.
You're watching America's leading pay TV